been researching this for a while for certain people, and it all is boiling down to sureties and equitable rights. And it's all in the laws. 12 USC 95A, number 2, USC 1 201, number 29, which says purchase means buy, sale, lease, discount, negotiable mortgages, pledges, liens, security interest, issues, or releases, gifts, or any other voluntary transactions creating an interest in property. Then we look at US Code 3 419, instruments. What is an instrument? And start digging into codes. It'll tell you what these things are and how you can use them in your favor. And maybe the court won't file that W 9 because it doesn't need to. Because once you go in there and you give up all your equitable rights, it's considered abandon your equitable interest by certain things you're saying. The court doesn't need to file those papers. You are abandoning your equitable interest by the way you're talking to the court, or by the way you're, going up there saying, it's not my name. I am not this person. That's not my birth certificate. Well, it's a certificate that was created that actually, believe it or not, is an instrument called a warehouse document. A certificate is a paper which establishes ownership or claim. And it's in the dictionary, Barron's Dictionary on Banking Terms. Registration of birth began in 1915 by the Bureau of Census, with the states adopting the practice in 1933. Birth and marriage certificates are a form of securities called warehouse receipts. The items included in a warehouse receipt are actually described in the codes 7 202, and they're the Uniform Commercial Codes. So this is what they're working under, guys. They're working under these codes, the law which governs commercial paper and transactions, okay, which is parallel a birth or marriage certificate are. And here's their laws. The location of the warehouse where the goods are stored. That's your residence. The date of issue of the receipt. That's the date they issued that certificate. The second date on the birth certificate. The consecutive numbers of the receipt. Oh, it's actually found on the birth certificate. Everybody told you they're the bond numbers. Nope, that's not true. Those are the receipt numbers. Every time you get a birth certificate, you're getting a new receipt, which is a new surety bond. Okay? Every time you request that birth certificate, you pay their $20. You just paid a surety bond. A description of the goods or packages containing within, guess what? On your birth certificate, name, sex, date, every bit of information, that's the packages connected within. The certificate of the warehouseman, which be made by authorization agents. Oh, guess what? They signed it. The municipal clerk signed it. The state register signed it. A warehouse receipt, or a receipt which is considered a document of title. Guess what? We have a title. May be negotiable interest and is often used for financing with the inventory as security. Use it and file it and ask for them to use it as the instrument of security. It's pretty
UCC,
simple.
Yeah, UCC
when you get into it.
7.201 and 202 is what she's describing. Look
Exactly.
Yep. 201 and 202.
Exactly. It's exactly what I'm saying. So understanding equity and equity laws is where the key is. When you guys go in there and you say, I'm not that person, you just abandoned that paperwork and you gave them what they wanted. Instead of abandoning the paperwork, give them back their paperwork, and have them file with the Treasury Department to recover what you are deemed and can recover through those papers. Instead of fighting with them and filing all these other papers that are probably just going to get you in trouble, it's easier to use your equitable title inside that certificate, which is a warehouse goods certificate. Turn it back in. Use the certificate to pay the damn bill and stop fighting with them and get the court case cleared out. Sorry.
Don't apologize for ignorance, our ignorance.
Oh. Also, guys, nobody really honestly has listened to Pastor of the Way. And we're going to start testing this, or I'm going to start testing it with a lot of people. Everybody is presuming or assuming we are U.S. citizens. Just because it's written down, does that mean it's law? It's written down. No, it doesn't. So who holds the records? The Secretary of State. I don't know how many times I've heard Pastor of the Way say the same thing. We are not U.S. citizens. But then I just got done hearing Jesse say, I'm not a U.S. citizen. Well, no, Jesse, you're not. Because number one, you don't have the proof. It's a very simple question. Pastor told you guys to do it. What did he tell you? Write a FOIA request to go to the Secretary of State demanding the documentation and the proof you are a U.S. citizen. If they do not have that, all you are is an inhabitant of the state. And that's written in the laws. Make any sense, guys?
Yeah, just look up Title 18, United States Code, Section 911. That's a criminal code, federal criminal code. 18 USC 911.
Uh-huh.
I know that one, Floyd.
Oh, hey, what's going on, bro? Yeah.
It's a crime to say you're a U.S. citizen when you're not. Oh.
Like, definitely a federal felony. Welcome to the BOP.
So everybody out there who is literally pushing state nationalism, you've got to change your status. You know what they're doing? They're creating felonies because you're not a U.S. citizen. So what the hell are you changing? There's nothing to change, you guys. Oh, it's a bunch of smoke and mirrors. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to tell you this.
No, please don't be sorry. Don't apologize. You should be grateful that you become enlightened and you can share the knowledge with those who are unenlightened.
I have known so much of this for so long. And I don't like dropping names, but I would be careful of a group in Texas who has a embassy, literally an embassy, registered to the UN following their guidelines. They are going to put you in prison, and when you start to get harassed by the government, they are going to corral you into their embassy, which is foreign land on state soil or government soil or United States soil, however I should say it. Just be careful, guys. Very careful.
Yeah, you don't need a group, a formalized group, to get the status of standing you're looking for and how to operate and how to be able to verbalize your status of standing and stand on your square with any entity that you encounter throughout this process. You don't need to pay anybody. You don't have to have a title or anything. And I'll be the first one to stand up, raise my hand, and say, I'm guilty of doing that because I joined Anna's American States Assembly. And now I totally repudiate that. And
I hope to God you didn't sign any documents giving her your estate.
No, everything everybody in the Texas Assembly signed went to Kim Reynolds who was the state coordinator at the time for the duration I was there anyway. And they just went straight to her desk and they had nothing to sign over your estate. I have all the instruments.
Okay.
Yeah, but so as you were saying, it's not that we're trying to change our status from a U.S. citizen. All our life, they ask you, are you a U.S. citizen? And you've been just saying yes or checking that box out of ignorance because that's what you were programmed and institutionalized and taught by your parents. Yeah, you're a U.S. citizen. God bless America, right?
Yeah,
So what we're doing,
exactly.
yes, we're going back and we're correcting the record.
Right.
So
And
that's what we're
correcting the record is pretty simple. You guys want to band together. You just need a social compact, COMPAC. Look it up, Laws of Nations. This is the original laws and the original documentation that was used to write the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, all of it. They created, you have to create a social compact and have a social agreement between people before you can move forward. And you are the ones who create your own compact. You write your own, what you want for your groups, and you create them and you establish them. And it's the way it was always done in the very beginning. And people didn't see it. They don't see it because they are now pushed with state nationalism and joining an assembly, creating your, what is it? Common law courts, and first of all, establishing your grand juries. No, guys, a grand jury is not worth the crap it's written on or done on unless you have a social compact to start off with. Everybody agreeing on certain things. It all has to be in agreement. This is what I'm seeing.
And what's stopping us from doing that?
Not a single damn thing.
Right, create a
Nothing,
parallel
except
Telegram group
people don't
where
know
we can, where we can do that.
It's super easy to do. I mean, I could write up a social compact to give everybody an idea of what it could contain, but each group has their own ideas. And a social compact means everybody gets a say so in the idea. It's not like somebody dictating to you what you're going to do and what you're going to believe. It is the
Right.
beliefs of all the people. And you follow the beliefs of all the people, which are the laws of nations, which are natural laws, which are God's laws, and they're in the Bible. And this is what it's all based on.
And that's how they created governments, because people got lazy or were too far outside the jurisdiction to meet periodically to go over that social compact, to amend it and adjust it to the needs of society or their society. So they got lazy and let government take over. And you know how when you cede power, absolute power corrupts absolutely. You're not getting it back.
So the only way to get it back, guys, is you have to form your groups. I'm not going to say assemblies. I'm not going to say whatever these other people are saying. All I'm going to say is get together in a community. Talk to one another. Work it out what you want for your life and what you want to follow. And create your communities, create your social compacts, and then start moving from there. I'm not pushing anything because I've never done it, but I'm just researching all the information. And this other stuff that's out there is utter rubbish, bullshit. I mean, other ways to get you into their damn system that will lock you in prison because you don't know their game and their rules and their codes and their little trickery that they put into you. Standing up. Oh, that's not my signature. Well, you just abandon your paperwork. Plain and simple. Oh, that's not my name. But you just abandon your paperwork. Plain and simple. Yes, it is my name. And I'm going to recover my equitable title or my equitable interest in my name. And I'm going to use the equitable interest in my name to pay off this debt, which I've already used my surety. And I have proof that my surety has been used by working, taxing, whatever they take out of you. That's your equitable title. And that's your equitable interest in that birth certificate. So you can use it through the Treasury Department and the court systems to literally discharge everything, cases and all. It's just nobody understands it. Nobody, they're feeding the wrong information. It's almost like they're agents out there. To me, it feels like an agent out there, filtering the wrong advice to people, because each time they get locked up or in trouble or need to pay, I do believe some of these people are receiving kickbacks from all of this mess, because they're having people sign papers and do things through their way, and it only seems logical because they're controlling a lot of the estate, equitable part of the estate, that they're filing paperwork to get some money out of that estate. I mean, I don't know. I can't prove it, but it just seems very logical to me that that's how it's working.
It's within reason compared to what we know it's going on in the corporate government arena for sure.
Do you realize the corporate government in states really don't exist? They split them off so long ago. Um, do you guys, okay, look at, how would I explain this? The whole United States is broke up into districts, or your voting district, little square boxes, like San Diego's a square box, uh, Tucson's a square box, uh, Manhattan's a square box. I'm just giving you, things that are going on. Okay. Each one of those square boxes is districts. And that's what the United States is broken up into. So each one of those districts needs a social compact through the districts to regulate what happens inside the districts. It's not the government to regulate it. It's you, the people, or the people of each one of these districts, of these little square boxes. And it's all done through voting, the voting districts. And, okay, where do you vote? Is this your district? What district are you in? Or what county are you in? Or something like this. So it's all broken up. I mean, I have a map that can show it to you. It's been out there forever. That would literally show you where you are and where you just need to start gathering the people in that area and start making your social compacts and establishing yourself by yourself, because they've already done it. They've already established you as your separate little district. So all you have to do is finish creating your districts. It seems so simple and logical to all this mess that they're charging, reading the law, okay? Reading the law, seeing how it works, understanding social compact, understanding how the government has already done a great deal of work for you by establishing all of this. It seems really logical to me just to continue the work and get in your own little district and become your own little social compact and your own little form of who you want to be and how you want to see that little box grow and thrive.
Can you post the map either
Yeah, I was
in the
about to
group
ask that.
or on here?
Sure, let me get it up there for you guys.
I like the ring of self-governing association.
See, with the social compact, you guys can name it anything you want. It all is done through the group. So if you like the name self-governing association and you get enough people to do the social compact under self-governing association, you've just created your own self-governing association with your little box or your little, you know, area that's set up in this map. It's pretty beautiful, if you ask me.
Hi, Erica. This is Fearless. I'm just looking through you. I haven't seen you on here before. Don't mean to be nosy or try to be a troll, but you have a image of American National Assembly of the United States of America and the treasurer. Which assembly is that? I'm not familiar with it.
Uh, of the United States of America, from the original, from the Articles of Confederation brought forward.
Is that like a local group here in Texas, or is that nationwide? So kind of give us the elevator pitch of what it is.
It's the actual, it's an actual government that should have been back in, from the Articles of Confederation. The Constitution that so many love, it was not made for us.
Is this your group, you and another group of individuals here in the U.S. or Texas, or what's that look like?
Just like the government, the de facto side, except we're not the de facto side. We have our own money and everything. I am an officer, an appointed treasurer for the American National Assembly, which I help answer questions and for states to bring their counties forward.
Okay, this sounds emulates the same thing that Anna von Reitz is doing. I mean,
Yes,
it is.
of our documentation. She stole most of our documentation. She was with us, so was David Strait. So that's why it sounds familiar, because they stole a lot of our documentation. That was before my time. I've only been with them for 8 months.
Okay. Is this affiliated with Destry Payne? Do you know?
No, it's not.
Okay. I've never heard of this particular group, but I've investigate them. Y'all must not have a presence on the internet.
There are websites out there, but most of them were taken down with the Satanic Temple attacks.
Right?
We have written in order for them to exile, and most of the websites were on GoDaddy, and GoDaddy backed them up, and they shut us all down and took some of the websites hostage.
Okay. Yeah, they'll do that. They like doing that. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So, and you don't even have to say anything. So, what is your personal opinion on David Strait and Anna von Reitz, or Anna von Reitz? Like I said, you don't have to answer that. You can say no comment.
Look at their flag. It resembles a 3-letter agency. That's all I have to say.
And like they say, a picture's worth 1,000 words, right?
Correct. And why would one have a blood oath to the Vatican? To
Yeah, absolutely. And being a registered agent for Planned Parenthood in New York, of all places. And you live in Alaska. As far as I know, she's never lived in New York. I believe she's lived in Ohio or Wisconsin and Alaska.
yes, I know the stories. I've heard them and I've tapped into them. These other groups too. You know, I like to learn certain things. You know, from different groups and stuff. This is like my third time being in here, so I'm fairly new. So I just came in here. I seen the chat open, and I was like, "Oh, let me see what's going on." But I wasn't expecting to be called on. But you're all right. I'm just a little nervous because I'm new at this.
No, don't be. I mean, this is
Well,
just like you're having
welcome,
a
welcome.
conversation on the phone.
Sorry to double speak over there, but mate, sorry. Anybody good at anybody familiar with us the Scott versus McNeil case, 1892?
Doesn't ring a bell with me. Is that a Supreme Court case, a federal case, state case?
SD Washington.
SD Washington?
No, SD, it's the Supreme Court of Washington.
Okay. No, I'm not.
Essentially a man, I can't quite, don't quote me on the backstory. This guy buggered off to away from his wife and went on a binger and was gone for X amount of years, over 7. If we know you know what I'm implying there, over 7 means if you're missing or presumed missing.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a
But
statute.
Well, you're actually, if you're off the grid, like, you know what I'm saying, no driver's license, no bill, no property, not in the system, then you're I think you get you're basically declared dead legally. I'm in the same situation, and I have a law case, and I'm just trying to figure out how to put my circumstances up to the forefront and bring this bloody birth certificate out into the light. And, not even the birth certificate, but the birth certificate. I focus on what they do with that original cut. I'm getting feedback. Somebody, yeah, what they do to us as soon as we come out of mom, clamping that umbilical cord and cutting it, and then carting it off and declaring that abandoned, and then creating the birth certificate and that's an act of violence. What they do to each and every one of us. That's human farming, followed by slave trade.
Use the birth certificate in your favor. Look up the court case of North Carolina, where you're trying to incorporate this birth certificate into your court case. Read the court case really closely. It definitely says your birth certificate is double hearsay. It's a recorded record. It is not your record of live birth. So, Pastor's gone over this quite a few times, and he's absolutely 100% correct. You have different forms of your birth certificate. One, the hospital keeps, and they probably keep it for about 20 years. Then it goes to the state health registry department, the Department of State. So you have to literally FOIA and literally ask for your record of live birth and not the certificate or the paper establishing an ownership claim. That's what you go and you get at the county recorder's office, is a certificate of paper which establishes an ownership claim. Okay? You need your original records because that certificate is double hearsay according to court laws. You cannot use it. So you need to start looking into FOIA requesting your record and put in quotes, not the certificate of the state that establishes ownership or claim. I am not looking for my warehouse certificate or my warehouse goods, my warehouse receipt. Do not get your warehouse receipt. Get your original records, which are written out by the hospital and have your footprints on them. Start there.
We can't hear you.
We're watching you make all these funny faces, but we can't hear you.
I could. Oh, my camera's on. Oh, whatever. I'll leave it on. Hi, people. Yeah. No. I've got a January 6th case because I was there as an independent journalist, not a Trump supporter. Yeah, MAGA. No offense if anybody is. I just wanted to, I viewed those people as naive, and I knew something was going to go down. And I'm very good at catching agent provocateurs at different, movements and things. They're always there doing their shady stuff. So yeah, I nailed them on the outside, and I tailed them in, and I caught the little high school stage play with the Buffalo Soldier who's not in jail. Okay, none of those people are in jail. That's one of their actors. No patriot was killed there, shot dead. That's fake as hell. I don't know I hope nobody's buying into any of that crap. So you know what January 6th is? It's a big money grab. They're just they want to arrest as many people that they can and get them to plea and take probation and pay some money. It's
a little bit more than that.
Go ahead. What's your view on it?
Well, if you want to look at some of these state nationals who claim that they have direct ties with Trump, which they don't, they were all in DC on the 4th of January. So they're out there promoting the simple fact, we are going to get all of you guys, what do you call it? When you give oath of offices to become a law enforcement officer, temporary, I don't know what, I lose words because I don't speak English all the time.
Yeah, you deputize somebody. You could
And we're going to walk into the government offices, into Congress, and arrest these people and bring them out and hold public trials. So they made this big old thing out there. So it was basically, let's see if we can start a civil war to get on whatever there is and to try and stop Trump, deface Trump, and not deal with this election fraud that we all know that's going on. It's a smokescreen. And basically, I have a feeling the news, the media, and all these patriot groups are literally going to try to do another smokescreen coming up really soon because I've seen masks that they're preparing that have Trump's face on it with an actor, arrest this person for espionage. And it's going to try to incite another civil war. This is what I'm seeing from the outside looking in. And be careful. Totally be careful.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not involved in any of that stuff, any of that patriot stuff or anything. I just I went there as a journalist to talk to the millions of naive people that believe in voting, and talk to people that were against Trump and all that stuff. Listen, I'm a pacifist. That doesn't mean I won't defend myself or whatever, but I have no interest in any civil war. Or put it this way, call it what you want. I have no interest in fighting over a patch of dirt. This world is if it gets too crappy anywhere, I don't know, go somewhere else. That's my view. I'm not into any of that patriot crap. And not fighting for democracy or the republic. Natural living, that's pretty much all I care.
Right. Did you meet or happen to know Nick Alvear?
No. Oh, you mean on here or something, or what?
No. In DC, January 6th.
No, who's he?
Nick Alvear is the creator, producer, writer, director. He does everything for Good Line Films, Good Line TV, does documentaries. And he was the pot smoker, Capitol pot smoker.
Oh. Okay.
He kind of did there to do the same thing you did and got caught up in the moment. And, he's inside and, whipped one out and fired it up.
Well, no, I mean, I just spotted Agent Provocateur. I mean, there were hundreds of them, whether they were cops or, just out proxies and there was actors. The Buffalo guy was an actor. I mean,
yeah, I know.
The government and some of the right wing patriot sites will say, "Oh, he's been in jail." I can't believe they're saying that. I mean, the government's using they have one stage actor. I did investigate Nicholas Rodin. I looked at his background. He worked at some place called Glory Donuts, which was an LGBTQ. He worked for a media company, which was right next to the NHS. Right next door to NHS. He worked at a food co-op, which was all social. I mean, the guy, and I'm looking at these people, and I've worked in film and TV. It's like these flags were just, these Trump flags were literally just unwrapped. They had it was props and stuff. It was just. No, I mean, I went there alone, just literally alone. Wasn't no stop the steal, no info, no. Listen, I don't even like Trump. I don't know. I don't know. I look at it like, a couple things. F due process, take the bump stock, take the guns and all that, and him surrounded by people like Kissinger and he's the one that let this lockdown shit start in the first place. People still don't get he had bad people around. Oh, stop. I don't know. If there's a bunch of Trump people here, that's okay. I mean, I don't hate the guy, but definitely not. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure you're gonna find some Trump supporters here. I'm apolitical. I don't go for either party. I think once you get to a certain level, even though like as a candidate, that if you're chosen to be the candidate for the president, that right after you are officially nominated by your party, you also get a little conference. And they show you the Zapruder film and tell you flat out, okay, well, we're gonna let you do, some of the things that you said you were gonna do to make it look good, but when we tell you to do something, you're gonna do it. If you don't, we're gonna kill you in front of God and everybody, and we're gonna get away with it.
The only thing I can say is all this crap has done one thing, and one thing that I believe needed to be done since I was in high school and was forced to take a crappy government class called the US Constitution in order to get out of high school in 75. It woke up the people. It woke them up to what we are under. It literally is showing people how we've been enslaved. And if that isn't the biggest slap in the face and the biggest awakening, it's literally showing people that God gave us our freedoms and we gave them away. And now we got to get them back.
Back to the different versions of that the birth thing. What's the problem? Because I did get a certificate of birth that has that, but it doesn't. It's got the, mom is informant. It's handwritten, but it does not have the footprint. So it says, it's the New York State Department of Health, Bureau of Vital Records certificate of birth, and I do have the bond
You
number.
are holding a surety bond in your hand. A fidelity bond is what you're holding, and you paid a price for it. Probably $20 or $25. So that is your deposit on your surety bond. And if you go and ask for it again, guess what? You're going to get another bond number. So what you're missing, you might want to turn off your microphone because it's double echoing. So what you're missing is you're missing the record, because that is considered a recorded record. You do not have your record of live birth. You're having a recorded hearsay record in your hand, which is a certificate, which is a warehouse receipt. And you're liable for that warehouse receipt. And as you see, your residence is on there. That's your warehouse goods and storage unit. And the date it was issued of the receipt was the date that they issued that or recorded it as hearsay in the record file. So you need to go to literally the Department of Vital Records and Statistics, the health department of the state, and you literally need to ask, I do not want my certified copy of my warehouse receipt, aka certified birth certificate. I am looking for my recorded birth records. I want the records from the hospital that the hospital filled out the day I was born. I do not want the POA. I want my original records, which if you've seen Pastor, I think it was Pastor showed him his original records. And it is a document that is written out. And it literally says, foundling. You're a foundling. We found this person. That is because they left it behind, because nobody knows it. Second thing nobody knows is because they got to record that record of your live birth, because it was under an affidavit called a POA, believe it or not, in all records and in all states and in the federal government, it literally tells you that as a parent and as giving birth to that child, you have 7 days to go to the county and register your child's birth. You don't register it, they're going to create that certificate and they're going to recreate that warehouse receipt. That's how it works. Nobody knows it because nobody's read the laws. Nobody seems to comprehend the laws. Everybody is going by double hearsay, what somebody tells them to do, and following blindly. And I think this is what the Great Awakening is all about. And whatever good, bad, or whatever has come from whatever Trump did or whatever has come forward from it, it is absolutely a beautiful thing because it's actually waking up people to the fact people have blindly followed in the footsteps of others before them instead of literally following in their own footsteps. That's how I see it.
I agree with that. It's just, I guess people that are waking up should kind of thank people like me and Mark Pastio and the quote unquote anarchists that have been saying the foundation, the state is government. I don't care. Australia, China, Canada, Argentina, China, North Korea. The state is your enemy. They put men in uniforms and go kill each other and all that. No, I'm sorry. It's stateism. That's, it's this, it is a religion. I don't know what the alternative is. Good old Americana, pioneer, homesteading. It doesn't mean that we can't have some decent technology, but that's what we need to be. You do you, I do me. You take care of your shit. And as soon as somebody in the neighborhood starts thinking, and I don't care, male or female, they get the same thing. So somebody starts thinking that their shit don't stink and they want to start projecting their will upon others and forming little community things and projecting your will upon anybody else, you get your ass beat, okay? You just get a good old whooping. We put you in the stockade, throw some tomatoes at you, shit like that. Learned your lesson? Okay, now, see you later.
I don't believe people are actually barbarian and barbaric like you want to make them out to be or what you are planning on doing. Communities has to be by the will of all the people, and it's not. I mean, if somebody doesn't start something or suggest something and get everybody on board, it's just going to get worse. Basically, I watched this most stupidest film. I guess it came out last year. I guess it was called Arrival or something. And it showed all these alien spaceships coming out and just sitting over the land and trying to talk to the people, trying to communicate with them, trying to explain all 13 of them or all 12 of them that were there need to communicate with each other in order to form a unity. And this is all what's in the Bible. You form your unities and work together in peace and harmony. And that's the end of the story. So somehow, some way, people need to stand up, form their unities, and work together and make life simpler and easier, and not allow somebody to come in and dictate to you who you are and what you need to do and what you have to pay. End of story.
I agree. I wasn't suggesting, I never suggested people are barbaric. Well, they are in today's system because the statism, okay, maybe it doesn't make them violent, but it makes them greedy POSs and become lawyers and judges and attorneys and insurance agents and all that. Well, or then it just turns them into a lower class, trailer, white trash, ghetto, this and that, turns them into violent people that just snap because the TV. No, and then it's the system turns people. By nature, I think people just want to take care of their own stuff, homestead, do something they actually like, which is mostly just taking care of the freaking home, not getting in a car, commuting, going to some stupid corporate frivolous nonsense business like an insurance company. Well, I wasn't suggesting that people are that barbaric, but what I'm saying is if people were in let's say a homesteading, taking care of their own stuff, doing what they really like, it would be much better. And as soon as somebody starts getting in the neighborhood thinking they're going to project their will and build a religion and kind of get people radicalized. No, you just get, you go into the stuff. The neighbors come along and they slap you down and say, hey, what the hell's wrong with you? Shape up. Stop that shit. Okay? Good. See you later. Okay? Simple as that. All I'm saying. far as that awakening, I do agree. I'm so surprised that, you know, so many people from all sides of life have kind of come on board of what the anarchist sort of culture has been saying for a long time, that your government is not your friend. Pretty much that's as simple as that. Anarchy means just somebody who doesn't believe in a ruling class and a slave class, which is what we have and have had for forever. The one problem is with this awakening, you know, I lived in China and I was there 11 years. That's why they declared me dead. I had nothing here, no real property, nothing, no bank account, nothing except the US passport, which that makes me a national. So I got out of their system and I was declared dead. But aside from that, I'm going to tell you, this awakening is never going to happen with Asians. And I'm not just talking about my Chinese family, but Japanese. And this is why this is one of the many reasons why the system was propping up China. They knew this awakening was coming in the Western sphere. So they'll just kill us because, I mean, I'll tell you, you know, Asians are just very you know, they've been doing what they're doing to us now the past few decades to Asia, especially Japan. I mean, you look at Japanese now and little urbanites and you don't see that samurai warrior class anywhere. I mean, it's all effeminate and just so yeah, they'll get rid of the West and do part of the reset. But not being doom and gloom, I don't think they really can. I think they've already lost in a way, but that's how I look at it.
I've been out of the American system now over 35 years, maybe 36, going on 36 years. I have 2 passports and 2 birth certificates. And I see things kind of differently. I see things from 2 sides of the coin, 2 sides of 2 coins. And I'm in an island that's French territory, but I also see the people in France for the first time since early 60s, 70s, actually coming together, actually standing up, actually walking down the street in unison, peacefully, just saying we've had enough. And guess what? Our lovely president, who should not be our president, was actually trying to push forward these stupid vaccine passports and all this crap. And finally, our assembly stood up and said, no, it's done, finished. We're not doing it. It's all because they saw a peaceful transition where the people are saying enough is enough. And now some of the people in Parliament are actually opening their eyes to the fact that we are tyrants and we are trying to control a group of people, and we are a small handful compared to how big they are out there on those streets. And do we really want to fight with them?
Well, that's good to hear. I don't know what we're going to get here. I see too many people that are just still buying into like this. Oh, we got the midterms coming up, and we're going to have a red wave, and that's good. We can just get the right people. You know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, voting, and expecting different results. I mean, this worldwide, this UCCs, which pretty much runs every country, it's what the world is all under. It's just ridiculous. These law libraries just need to be, yeah, you want to have a book burning, burn all these stupid law books. There's only one law. It's natural law, whatever you call it, what you want. You want to call it the Tao, the way, the golden path, whatever. Just call it as you wish. We all know what it is. If you want to take the Christian approach, it's in there as well. I yield.
That's what the book Law of Nations was written on, the Bible and natural law. And it's one thing they don't teach people, and it's one thing people don't read. Try reading some of it. It is very basic, simple, and you can use that in all courts to prove your points because they're not using it. It's what it's supposed to be.
I know that. I've had this U.S. District Court judge actually lie on us. He says we don't use international law. He actually said it. I mean, this is this is a criminal. We don't use international. Oh, see, you're saying I don't care what court you are. If you're in a county court, provincial court, state court, international law does apply. And perfect example, if you're trying to bring in a quote unquote somebody that's a diplomat, well, we got some problems here. So how can you say, how could a judge, I mean, well, we know international laws and treaties, and yeah, I do know the Law of Nations. That's, I read that, yeah, that's I mean, this judge is just playing gay. He doesn't understand what info sui juris. So he's actually sitting there pretending he doesn't understand any Latin terms or judicial canons or canon law. It's amazing.
He doesn't need to because you're under abandoned paperwork. So until you can unabandon your paperwork, they have complete control over you. And this is what they do.
No, that's what I was starting to say, because here's the thing. I have a forget whatever style of birth certificate. I know what you're talking about exactly. But I have a birth certificate that has a different name, that is my passport and my driver's license and all that, because I was in the mid-90s. I was able to change my name through, I'm going to call it Jedi mind tricks. I willed it. I did not use an attorney and go to a court and get a court order. Don't ask me how. It's happened. Then I left the country in 2004, and I never set foot back in here until 2015. So I was way over the 7-year thing, and I had no commercial connection based in the U.S. for those 11 years. So I went way over the 7-year mark. No bank account, no drive. I mean, gone. Only I had a United States of America passport, and it has U.S. citizen / national. So at some point in those 11 years, some bank service provider was probably doing oh my God, he left $60. Yeah. Chasing down something, and they adjudicated, they declared me missing, dead. And then I came back. So it's pretty interesting. I really want to make this birth certificate and what they do to us. Again, the birth certificate to me, it's just a paper. What they do when they clamp and cut. What's the law that says no laws can come after an act of violence? Well, guess what? So what they do to us at birth, forget about the paperwork. What they do to us at birth, where they cut us off from source, that's pretty much what it is, nullifies all their codes and statutes and all that. That's an act of war and violence that they do on us. I don't even care about the paperwork.
And go back to 1902, because that's when it started. They started recording these births in 1902. 1919, they have the act. And I think it was 21, it became in all states. And by 1933, all 48 states were using it. So go all the way back. Go all the way back to Babylon. When your child was born, what did the parents need to do? They needed to take a copy of the child's footprints and deliver it to the king's court. At the king's court, the king recovered those as his property until the child became of age, legal age, which was 21. And then the child had to go to the court and reclaim his feet. And the way he did it was taking new footprints or new prints of his feet and submitting them to the court to verify the two documents were the same child. And the court released the child. You just need to release your bondage. And nobody's ever released their bondage. It's been going on since before Christ. Before everything, they have recovered you in bondage. And before, everybody knew how to release their bondage. Girls cannot do it unless they're married, but boys can do it to 21. At 21, they can take a copy of their prints and give it to the government, or give it to the courts, or give it to whoever's the recorder, and recover their status or recover them from slavery. Nobody's ever done it. It's not that difficult. I have quite a few people who are in the process of doing it now. And there's a big difference once it's all filed and it's recorded. Because afterwards, what you can do with that great certificate under seal is create your estate and become the executor of that estate. And as an executor, you name your beneficiaries. And as a beneficiary, you can use that estate that is under seal to close out all these cases. Instead of fighting with it, use it.
How far it goes back, because people like I have been laughing at people sitting there, arguing over capitalism versus communism. And, you know what? These people that have been running these, whatever they are, the reptilians, it doesn't matter. They can be freaking penguins disguised as human. I don't care. But nothing has changed since back then. They invented Christianity, we know it, and Islam and Judaism, and they invented socialism and communism. They knew the Americas were here. There was civilizations here and technology here. The New World, blah blah blah, bupkis. Okay, they invented all these isms that have been screwing mankind for generation after generation after generation after generation after generation after generation. All the shit they teach in school worldwide is rubbish. It's ism after ism after ism after ism. Nothing is connected with source. Nothing is connected with the Father. Nothing is connected with the natural, divine way, the Tao, whatever you want to call it, logos. Okay? It's all rubbish. Every ism. I hope people are really waking up to that point, that all of it is rubbish.
Maybe, just maybe, we have to beat the AIs. And we have to see what you're talking about and how the AIs are waiting for us to figure out a way to beat them. And nobody has. But
could it that you already an AI?
no, I'm not an AI, but there's plenty of them around, let me tell you. An
I'm
artificial
just kidding with
intelligence be some of this, surveillance screens, whatever they're doing to survey people, the mind controls, all this stuff is, artificial intelligence. It doesn't mean that it's from outer space or wherever. They've created this from the beginning. It's always been there. It's like a
you. Yeah,
matrix. Yeah,
yeah, we in the matrix. Yeah,
we are the
everything in the
matrix.
system is the matrix. All that stuff people argue about day and night is all part of the matrix. Nothing
And all
outside
they're
of it.
doing is feeding into it instead
That's
of
right.
breaking it.
And that's why you separate the private from the public.
You know a matrix, another word from the matrix means womb, right? Like the womb, WOMB.
Artificial womb. Artificial womb. Yeah, because you have the real womb, which is mama nature, and then you got the artificial womb, which is the matrix. A lot of people still in the matrix. They haven't went to that mama nature womb yet because they love the mother nature. I mean, mother nature.
I don't think you can ever get out of a matrix. I think as long as you're in the material, anything material, and maybe even whatever. I think it's always a matrix unless you're actually back to. Okay, now we're getting too far. I don't think there's a way to get out of the matrix in this material realm. Even if you go to another game, if you even level up, game up, whatever, you're just going into another matrix, which is, I think that's the nature of it. I could be wrong, but that's how I look at it.
Yeah, it's all within one's mind. When you get into things that actually matter, that's when you come out the matrix. But as long as you into the things that don't matter, because you can't change it, those things, that's when you can get out the matrix. If you can't change it for yourself and for your brothers and sisters, why worry about it? But so many people worry about stuff they can't change, and they haven't even changed themselves. They trying to change the world outside themselves instead of change the world that's within themselves already. And that's a problem.
Bingo! You just said it. You are so correct.
And
You are so point on.
that's what I said. Projecting your will. You don't listen. There's a lot of good people out there. There's a lot of good people out there. They want to just save the world, change the world for the better. I think that's the sin. Who are you to do that? Who are you to do that? Where did you get the idea that you're out there going to change the world, organize the world, save the world, whatever you want to call it, dictate to the world? Who are you? Who are
Their
you?
little small 3D, their little small brain is called ego. The ego
Yes.
takes over inside the system and it
Yes.
controls the whole narrative. People are
correct.
only using half their brain. And it is really, honestly, a great deal of what the government has done to people. Okay, what is one of the greatest things that the government has done? Protect your eyes, guys. Go out in public wearing sunglasses. So, what are you seeing? Nothing but dark. They don't want you to see the real sun. They don't want you to open your pineal gland. They do not want you to use both sides of your brain to actually see that the world is a beautiful place. And they are limiting the knowledge by literally getting people just to follow blindly and say, oh my God, it's global warming. You know what? The earth is not heating up. Oh my God, the water is not rising. Oh my God, the oceans are still the same. Wow. Yes.
China, they got the people where they actually walk around on a sunny summer day with an umbrella because their skin might get a little dark and they
Do
might.
you know what? That is the biggest cause of skin cancer. Oh
Yeah.
my
Skin
goodness.
cancer from the
Did
sun.
we not tell anybody? Guess what? If we let our eyes adjust to the sun, our DNA
Mhm.
inside of us, which is all of our cells, will literally open up our skin to recover the most beautiful vitamin in the world called D, vitamin D. And guess what? The more we deprive our bodies of that sun, the faster we're going to get skin cancer. Oh my God, we're all have skin cancer because of the sun. Now we have to put products on us. It's disgusting.
Right.
And that product gives us internal cancer. Oh my goodness, did I just say something?
That's business. All that's business. But you got to understand that it all started when the baby came out the womb. What was the first light that they seen? Artificial lighting. Okay. And the baby eyes was closed. Okay. When they opened their eyes up, the doctor flashed a light in it. That light was artificial. So this come all the way back to the womb. Okay. See, this is what I'm saying. It's the artificial womb, and you got Mama Nature womb. When that baby was in darkness, it was comfortable. When the baby inside the mama, that darkness that baby is inside, he or she is comfortable. Okay. But when they start putting all that artificial stuff on it, that's when the earthquake started. Okay. Rain, snow, sleet, and hail. Okay. The 85% of people know it rains, sleet, snow, and hail. The problem is they don't know what's making it occur, because they think it's some mystery God out here that's making it occur. See, people still looking for a mystery God to save them from their situations right now. This is why a lot of people pray.
Oh, wait. Why are they looking for a mystery? Because mystery is my story. So you're looking, make your own story. Write a book. Be as author.
But if you don't know your story because somebody told you your story, how can you ever figure out your story? Because these people ain't gonna open up a book and study. Huh? Go ahead.
Guys, watch the last season of Westwood. Seriously, I am not joking you. The last season of Westwood will literally tell you what's going on out here right now.
Or Westworld?
Westworld.
Okay, now check this out.
Oh my God,
it's
hilarious.
Right?
When you watch it is absolutely hilarious.
They
sit there and write stories. They create the stories. And we're blind
everything
to
is a story.
Everything is a story. It's a scenario. They create it. And it's up to us to look through the illusion and see what is real and not.
But it all started when that baby. It all started when that baby came out the womb. Think about what I'm saying here, guys.
That's what I'm saying.
Look, check it out. The baby knew his story.
Brother.
She knew her story too.
Brother.
But when they start teaching them this religious stuff and things outside of them that's going to save them, that baby lost his story. When the baby came out that womb, guess who it looked for? Mama. Okay. The baby's still in tune with nature.
It
had its own language.
There you go. And the language was through the mama, right? Because she got the medicine, right? To cure that baby, right?
It was just vibration.
Hey, does anybody find it weird that universally, I don't care, you go to China, you go to Japan, you go to Thailand, you go to Argentina, whatever, anywhere, they do have their own language, because mama and papa is
the same.
Africa, exactly.
It's every language, brother. Every language. Universal.
That old tale about the baby
We're
that has no
talking about Mare and Pear. We're talking about baby speak.
Wait, one at a time, Eric. Somebody else is talking.
It's mama and papa. There's no Mare and Pear.
Every language, any language you can think of, it's what the baby says. From the first two words that the baby say. Period. Universal.
Don't bring no French. Again, there ain't no French. It's baby language. Mama, papa, mama.
Every language, brother. I don't care what language you speak. That baby first language is mama and papa. That's it. You hear me? What happened to us?
That's what I said. French or Swahili or Chinese. It's fun. It's audible language, not written, not codified.
Not written. It's already in there. It's wrote in DNA.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like that,
creation.
like
There
that
you
old
go.
myth
It's
about
the
there was a
vibrations
baby.
that are inside of them, natural vibrations.
There was a baby allegedly was like on an island with a mute mother or something, and it was like back in like I forget, like the 14th century, and they said that the baby developed its own language because the mother couldn't communicate, and it was close to like the original Aramaic or something, like really close, like that was the language it was speaking when they came and like had contact with like later on with whoever had put it there. I think a monk or something. It was like an experiment.
There's something that cut. Listen, I'm so happy that we're not all talking about the birth. Listen, the birth certificate. It's all a good thing. But again, it's a paper, and we as a species need to move away from this goddamn paper shit. But
Sounds good. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, because we all know it's the whole game is played by language. I mean, it's all just a
That's
a
true.
language game, you know.
yeah, but what? Listen,
They
The
create
universe is
language.
wrote in language.
Yeah.
what they're doing to us, it's biological. It's
We keep saying that they doing it to us. They ain't doing shit to us. It's
Yeah,
we doing it
we
to
doing it to
ourselves.
ourselves.
Yeah, and nobody
A
doing.
lot of
You
it
still believing
And-
it's a
and
mystery
that's how
God.
they
You
take
believing
your
it's a
power
mystery
away.
God. Yeah, you
Because you
believe
always
it's a
point your
mystery
finger at
God doing
somebody
this to
else,
you.
and
The
you have to
government.
take the power
Guys, a
back.
lot of it is on frequencies. Look at the music and the frequencies. The higher
Yes,
the
rhythm.
frequency, the more confusion and the more crap that goes through your head that disarranges you or disillusions you. The lower the frequencies, the calmer you are and the more you see.
And it's all about
I'm
energy.
serious. It's
It's all
energy,
about energy.
frequencies, and what goes on.
And
Everybody
this,
says when the volcano explodes, it's so bad. It's not.
no,
The
no, it's not. That's a
volcano
good
is a
thing.
rebirth. It is a
Yeah,
rebirth of nature, of earth. Watch what grows from
supposed
the
to happen.
volcanoes.
Like
It's
And
supposed to
a
happen.
thunderstorm, right? Some people
exactly.
fear that they run and hide, but I love listening to the thunder, man. It's fucking amazing.
oh yeah, everybody go to sleep. I'll be woke. Man,
Yeah,
I'll be
I
woke
love
when
it,
it's
man.
raining.
That shit
Man,
soothes me,
I'll be
man.
woke. I'll be woke, brother. Mother Nature is the best rhythm and vibration on this
Exactly,
earth.
bro. And she
She
gives you
make the
exactly
best
what you
sound
need at the right time.
all the
Guys,
time, just like our mama. I
just
love her.
go out. Go out. You can literally just stand in front of a tree and talk to the tree and watch what the leaves do. It is friggin'
Oh yeah,
amazing.
that's true. They
Yeah, the
respond.
It is
vibration.
really amazing.
Yeah,
And have you
vibration.
guys seen the videos that have come out recently of trees actually moving, actually honestly moving to get closer to another tree to connect?
I
Because it's
see how
It's
all
all
that's
connected.
possible. Yeah.
we all
It's
connected
all
to that tree.
connected.
We are the
We
tree.
are.
We are the
Guys,
tree.
your sole of your feet are your
Yeah,
soul. Your thumbprint
the root.
is your tree of life. So why are you even giving it away to anybody? I mean,
That's what I'm
guard
saying.
it.
A mystery
It's your
God.
tree of life.
People put more energy toward mystery gods into themselves instead of themselves. The government is a mystery god to me. When people mention say the government doing this, the government doing that, you still believe in a mystery god. You trying to shit on religious people, but you still religious yourself because you believe a government is controlling you. Well,
Yeah,
the creator
that's
is
why I
within
always
you
say that
controlling you.
there are no
Huh?
atheists, because anybody who claims to be a
Yeah,
so-called atheist puts their
is a
faith in
lie.
government. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know, they
they
got
believe in a
It,
god.
they got
or
to believe
Exactly.
science.
somewhere.
Yeah, they believe in a god and gods. They believe in money. I guarantee you, if you hit them upside their head, they're gonna say, "Oh my God, why you just hit me? I thought you didn't believe in God. You believe in it now, don't you?"
Right? Yeah. That's like the
Right,
universal thing when the shit's hitting the fan. Oh my god!
right. That part. Yes.
The
No,
plane, the
I
plane's
listen.
going down. Everybody's not screaming, "Oh the devil! Oh the devil!"
Yeah, but the devil is you. You the whole devil the whole time.
The
You the
ego,
answer
man.
in the question. You the answer the question to all your equations in your life. Ain't no mystery gods. Ain't no mystery
Exactly.
God gonna come back and save you. Huh?
No, you gotta go
And the
back.
answer within. The answers
have-
are totally within.
You have to
Looking
You
go.
have to know how to listen to that slow, that silent, like low voice within, because it's really
That's the
it doesn't
gut. That's the
scream.
gut feeling.
Yeah.
The gut feeling, brother. It
Hey,
never failed you. It
if,
never
if,
failed you.
if anything's a mystery to thyself, well, right there, you don't know thyself, and
Yep.
you haven't realized that mystery is my story. That's all it is. There ain't no such thing as a mystery if you know that.
We only know his story. What about her story? What about our
Right.
story? You know, her story
Yeah.
never lied, but his story always lies. Switch up.
Hey,
If you talk to a woman about a story, her story never switch up. Prime example: go and cheat on your wife. Watch what happens.
my
Story never change up. The man, he always switching up in the emotional rampage. But when a woman cheat, the man, I never know. Wow,
I don't care about his story
The
because
women
listen,
are way more in touch with
I'm
their
not a
emotions.
part.
Hey,
I'm not,
just tell me I'm lying, brother. Just tell me I'm lying. Okay. All right.
I'm not a part of
You're right
history.
on point, bro.
Breath.
All right. So we need to get to her story. You know, her story deal with Mother Nature. You know, she taught him every fucking thing you know because mama is the first teacher in life, right? She's the first teacher of that baby. All these motherfucking men that people worshiping and stuff out here, like Jesus and all these other Abraham and Moses, didn't they have a mama? Who taught them? Their mama taught them everything they motherfucking know, and she fed them everything that they needed, right? Okay.
the
Now
mother
y'all want to
cre-
get yeah.
the mother's
Go
the
ahead.
creator. All you guys
Yep.
do is don't the seed. The
But
seed is
don't.
already in the mother. All you do is fertilize the seed. It's
Yeah.
us
We
to
yeah.
create, and it's
Yes.
us to teach.
Y'all bring life. Y'all bring the life to it. Y'all bring life. We
Just like
spark the life, but y'all bring it. Yeah.
yeah,
You
just
guys are
like
the
the so-called
protectors. The
Christ.
men are the
That
protectors. They're
there was
there
no
to protect
father.
the children.
You know, Mary was the one that brought it forward. You know,
Yeah, that was
allegedly.
bullshit too, brother. That immaculate conception shit was bullshit, right?
I don't know, man. I
Hey,
wasn't
let's
there.
get real,
I can
man.
neither confirm nor deny.
Oh, it is.
Brother, that
Listen,
shit
But
was
you know
bullshit,
what?
man.
It's been
Huh?
proven. It's literally been proven in science that women
Never.
can fertilize their own eggs. I
That's a
don't know
lie.
how.
If that was the truth, if that's the truth, why can't a woman do it right now?
I
I
don't
ain't
know.
seen it.
That's a good
So
one.
I
But
said
that's
like
what
this. Let me
they're
ask you this
saying.
question. Watch this.
It's
Watch
kind
this.
of
'Cause
strange to me to hear that because I mean,
look,
I
check
wouldn't
this
know how
out,
to
mama.
fertilize an egg.
Check this out, mama. Check this out. Let me ask you this question. Are men and women mammals?
Are they what?
Are they mammals?
Mammals?
Yes.
Allegedly.
Okay.
Everybody.
Now, wait, hold on. So, if
Well, who's
men and women are
everybody?
mammals, what makes you think a woman can create a baby by herself? Kaboom!
No, she
Okay.
can't. But it
Okay.
also no, but I'm just saying this is what science is trying to push out
But
there now.
that's pseudoscience. This is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
exactly.
That
But
mystery
look at the
teaching.
salmon run. Look at the salmon run. The female has to carry the eggs during the run. And in
Yeah,
order for it to happen and the eggs to be fertilized, the male has to fertilize the eggs.
I get that part. Yes, I'm not saying that. I'm saying yes, it is creatures out here that can procreate without the other sex. You know that can happen.
No, it's
Okay,
it,
some
it is,
reptiles.
and
There's
this is what
reptiles that
got
can do
me
it.
about this is I'm going to be honest. This is the
Mhm.
first thing that got me about the Bible, that only God was the creator. How can he create by himself without having a procreator with him? It was a joint effort. And I think this is where a lot of misinformation is missing, or this is how I see it. Okay. I'm not going to say I know the Bible because I never studied the Bible, but I do
Okay.
know other things about God and being close to nature, being close to the heart of who we
Yeah,
are.
that's right.
So I don't know if we really need a, I mean, if a birth certificate is hearsay, if a government
It's
is
all
hearsay,
hearsay. All
and
of it is hearsay.
is the book hearsay also? The Bible, the book of the
Yeah,
Bible,
everything.
is hearsay.
It's somebody else's
Everything.
It's
story.
stories
You
One
passed
wasn't there.
down,
It's not
just
hearsay.
stories
Hey.
passed down.
Natural law does not need to be written down on a tablet or a cave wall or a parchment or a piece of paper or on a computer screen. It is what it is. It's immutable. It's always has been. Always what has.
Yeah, but it's still man-made, brother.
According
It's
to
still
who-
It's
man-made, though.
written in your heart,
It's still
nature's
man-made.
law.
Yeah. It's
That's
still
not-
Nature's
that's-
man-made.
law is
the
inside
only
of
the
you.
only truth is experience. That's the
That's
only
it.
truth.
What I'm
That's
saying.
it.
Experience.
Everything that's been written down, my man, is bullshit. Everything.
That's not true, brother. That's not true. Not everything. Some things. Not everything. That's
You
true.
write
When you
it-
write your own
He-
stories,
I'd
are
say
they
everything.
hearsay? Are they
I agree.
bullshit?
No,
I
what
wouldn't say
When you write a story for your newspaper,
no.
Right.
If you write an author, that's
Oh.
it. That's yours. That's yours. What I'm saying is every book.
then you just got done contradicting yourself by saying
That's right.
everything
He
man
just
has
did
ever
it. He
written
just did it.
is bullshit. So is it really bullshit, or is that your
Brother.
story you're
If it-
telling?
Okay,
Yeah.
stop.
It's your story. It's not history. It's not his story or somebody else's. Everybody has a chance to write their own story.
Yes, I'm not talking about that. I'm
It
talking.
all goes back to the same thing.
Talking about the books that the mass people believe that
And that's all man-made.
it's.
It's all
They're-
man-made. All of it's man-made, brother. All of
That's
it man-made. Ain't no way around this one. I'm sorry, she got you on this one, brother. If you was a journalist, that job you was working was man-made. Because the man made that. He made the words that you using to write on the paper. He made the damn paper.
I'm talking about authoritative. Anything that is a book that is a quote unquote authoritative. It's nonsense.
Brother,
Only
all that's man-made. All of it's
I'm going to say
man-made.
this. Anything outside of your firsthand knowledge is bullshit. How about that?
Yeah, there you go. That's bullshit. Yes.
He
I
puts
agree.
that story out there. It's his story that he's telling in the paper and he's writing about, and other people are reading it. So they're not seeing firsthand information. So do we believe his story?
hearsay.
Do we believe what he's
That's-
written in that newspaper? Everything can be bullshit.
Well,
The
we can
only-
believe it or we cannot believe it. It's up to us.
Exactly.
If it resonates.
It's a
Exactly.
choice. It's a
So,
choice.
I mean, I know books are, crap, but it's their story. So
Hey.
you look at it.
It's truth in everything.
hey,
Can't
Yeah,
nobody
there's
nobody
truth
lie
in
without knowing the truth. Can't nobody lie without knowing the
Exactly.
truth. It's truth in everything. Yeah.
Exactly.
can't be
So
all
you look at the
bullshit.
stories, you look at the
Mhm.
stories, and you take what fits the narrative and you throw the rest away. It doesn't matter. And then
Chew
you
the meat and
start
spit out the
creating your
bone.
own stories and
Chew
experiencing
the meat
your
and spit out
own
the bone.
experiences. Yes. Somebody has
I'm
to
with you.
start somewhere. It
Yeah.
all has to come down and start somewhere. We didn't learn how to walk on our own. Okay,
No.
we didn't learn how to talk on our own. We didn't learn how to do anything on our own. Somebody taught us.
We learn from someone. Yeah. That's where the
Even
ego
in
thing come
nature.
in at. That's where the
Exactly.
ego.
And that's why contract law runs this whole shit, because it just has to be agreement. So if you agree with his story, you just created a contract, and now you're held liable to it.
up here. Listen, his story is your story. I don't care about another.
How's his story my story?
This story ain't my story. Her story is my story.
Stop! I'm trying to say there's only one his story. That's me. I don't care what his story is, because that's not his story. Okay, my story, my mystery can only be history upon my last breath. That's the final record, the final accounting. So when they teach you history in school, who's his? There's only one story, mine. Okay, and I can become a part of his story when I'm dead. Right now, I'm alive, so I am not a part of history. I'm living in the moment. That's what I'm trying to say.
Everybody read through history. We live in this history right now. We making history. Whether you know it or not. We speak in history. This is history right here on the Floyd show. This is history. Like when we go away, yeah. When we go away, the babies that listen to these calls gonna be like, oh, these people is arguing about this, and we still arguing about it today. That's history. Yeah, that's how it goes.
Exactly. Every spoken word in the universe is recorded in vibrations. Your voice vibrates. So everything you speak, everything you say, everything you think is all recorded because of your vibrations. So every day we are recreating or actually making our own stories, our own history.
Everybody writing their own books.
That's why the stuff's so
Exactly.
powerful, like the spoken word. You see, like Yamamoto, that scientist, he froze like negative thoughts or negative things written on paper and stuff, and the water quality was all messed up and stuff. You guys familiar with all that research?
It sound familiar.
Yeah. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
It actually changes the formation of the water.
Wow. Interesting.
Like if you say I hate you, the water quality, like the crystal makeup of the water is like all, ununiform and messed up. But if you say I love you and you put that like on the water container, the freaking water is like perfect form, like, and it's amazing. And they froze it.
It actually works.
Yeah.
And that's why crystals are here. Crystals are vibrations, and crystals surround us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you say vibrations and stuff, you're just talking about pure energy. That comes from the mind. All this is energy.
Vibrations is pure energy. You're
pure
made
energy.
up of, I think, 65% water, which is pure energy, 35% land, 65% water. You are pure energy. And it depends on how you take care of that energy is how you will survive and how you will move forward and how you will pollute your body, and they get us to, I mean, God, when you're a kid
all day.
Yeah. Not only that,
Through this
but
crazy language.
Believe it or not, I mean, when I in 58, when I was born, they didn't have all that junk food. My mom or my grandmother cooked from fresh vegetables, whatever. They went to the butcher shop and ordered a cow and butchered it and brought it home and put it in the freezer. They canned all their summer garden, all their green beans, all whatever they did, they canned everything. They canned all their jams, their jellies, everything. We were not introduced into junk food until we left the home. And then we went crazy and we polluted our own bodies until we saw what was happening to us. And then it was up to us to go back to eating correctly and get rid of these processed foods. Convenience.
Yeah. GMO. Yeah. But you know what's crazy though? Ain't none of this stuff new. This stuff been around for a long time. Even in the Bible, it talks about
history
GMO,
definitely repeats. I'd say.
Oh hell yeah! That's why when dude said that history, this is not history. This is history, buddy. History is past, future, and present. History is everything. So by definition, okay. But none of this GMO stuff is new, okay. All this grafting stuff been going on since the Bible, okay. Now I can get deep on y'all if y'all want me to.
Oh yeah,
go there,
I've heard people even go as far to say that the so-called AI has been around for like thousands of years.
It's been there.
Yeah.
It's in the Bible, brother. It's in the Bible, and I could prove it. Now, if y'all want to go deep there, we can.
Yo, take us, man. Take us.
All right, awesome, great. Okay. So I don't know if y'all got a Bible, but we go through a few verses right quick. Have y'all heard of Jacob? Have anybody heard of Jacob in here? Like Jacob of the Bible?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know it's no J in Hebrew, right? So the J is a
Yeah,
Y.
just the Y, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Jacob or Yaqub. We say Yaqub in Arabic. Okay, but in the Hebrew meaning, it means supplanter. Okay. Now look up the word supplanter. All right. When you look up the word supplanter, look at everything around you, from GMO to artificial intelligence to the doctors using all these new technologies, um, the judges, okay, the nurses, the funeral homes, the jails. All of this is a part of Jacob plan, okay, and it's wrote right there in the Bible, because Yaqub means in Hebrew supplanter. So when you look up supplanter, what's the definition y'all got? What's the definition y'all got for supplanter? Let's go through it right quick. I don't have it pulled up. Let me pull it up right quick. Supplanter meaning, okay? So now check this out. Look what it's saying here, okay? Supplanter. A passer, a deviant. Hold on. This is something different here. Okay. Someone or something taking the place of another as through a force, scheming, strategy, or the like. Okay. Now watch this. Now remember I said Yaqub is in Hebrew
Jacob.
means Jacob, right? Which means supplanter in Hebrew. Okay. So Jacob in the Bible, matter of fact, let me get the verse for y'all. Did Jacob in that Bible wrestle with God in Genesis? Do y'all remember that story?
Yep.
Okay, so when Jacob was wrestling with God, didn't he defeat God in that instance?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, according to the story, right? So when he defeated him in that story, he changed his name to what? Israel. Okay, going somewhere with this. Now, could it be that Jacob is the devil and he did the first name change? Oh, check this out. It gets gooder. Now, Yaqub defeated God, and that was the devil there. Now, ask yourself this question. Out of all the people that died in the Bible, did the devil die enough? Okay. So, Yaqub is an evil scientist. You can look him up. It's Yakub. Okay. Some people put the triple Ks. He started the Ku Klux Klan. He started all this. Ain't none of this stuff new. Okay. He started all this stuff. He was a big head scientist. He had one of the largest heads in the world. Okay. And his head was so big because he had an ego. And he created 59,999 people as his followers. Okay. Now you have a lot of those people inside this community right now. Okay. Those are Yaqub's creations. Okay. That's why you have to be careful what you listen to and who you follow. Okay. I'm speaking from experience. Okay. So he in Genesis, let me see. In Genesis, he took the sheep, he took the goat, and he took something else. He took them all together and mixed up and diluted them. That was your GMO there. He was a black scientist. He was a black scientist according to the story. Yes, is it mythical? Yes, it might be. But the story is actual fact because we see it every day. Right? We see prime example, a rat. What is a rat? Anybody know what a rat is? A rat is a a rat. RAT, a rat.
Right.
Yeah. A rat.
Like
A
furry
pig
rodent.
is a rat. Yeah, yeah, like a pig, right? A pig is a rat, right? So what is the pig mixed with? It's mixed with a cat, dog, and a rat. Okay, that's all a pig is. It's a cat, rat, and dog. Look it up. It's
Yo,
a genetically modified animal, all right?
yeah.
Okay. The grapefruit, right? What's the two fruits of grapefruit? Anybody know? It's two fruits. Nobody know what a grapefruit is? So the grapefruit is two fruits. Okay, you can look it up. I don't want to go through that right now, but it's two fruits. That's genetically modified. All right. So he took those animals inside that Bible in Genesis and spreaded them. He spread it and separated them. Okay, this is where your separation stuff come from. Ain't not none of this. This was what they call the race. Okay, black, white, brown, yellow, whatever you want to call yourself, all these different ethnicities and all this stuff. Okay. He started all that. Okay. You can go on the Bible and check it out for yourself as well, too. Okay. But I would say study that history of that
I
man.
gotta read
Okay.
that message again, man. Because the place
Yes.
where they wrestled was pineal, or it was like close to
Yeah, pineal,
pineal.
the pineal
The
gland, that was
pineal
the brain,
gland.
that was the
Yeah.
mind. Yeah, that was the mind. But the place that they was the island that they was on was called oh my God, what was the island called? It's the pineal, it's dealing with the pineal, but I can't think of the island what it was called. But if you break down the word island, island means is land. That's all it is. It's a body for the water. So it was him wrestling with himself on water, just like we wrestling with ourselves on water right now, okay? Because we're in a sea of commerce, okay? It's the same thing, all right?
It sounds like it's all
So
just the story of man, like
yeah,
it's all the story of man, but they put all these other people in there to make it sound like there's all these characters, but it's really just about the mind and the spirit
yes,
and all that.
yes, yes.
Have you ever heard of that guy? What's his name? He does all the like these kinds of analogies. Oh man, he did a lot of stuff on YouTube back in the day. I can't remember. It'll come to me. I'll
Yep.
let you know.
Okay. And and also
Do your best.
okay.
Come get me.
Oh, somebody got a loud TV. So
Seriously?
if you can look in Genesis, hold on, I'm gonna tell you. Jacob with the goats.
Yeah.
In Genesis. I think it started at chapter 30.
I can't even. They don't even let me into the FBI building. Maybe outside the gate, sitting there. Son of my father.
Okay, it started 30:25. Okay. 30:25 in the Bible, Genesis. Okay. And just keep going on. You'll
Yeah,
see
we
where
don't want to even
he
talk.
separated these animals from the speckled to the black to the brown. Okay. He separated them. Okay. This was his creation. He was creating a people through that stuff. Okay. Those animals represent people. Okay. We think it's just animals because we literally think it's just animals. No, those you got to understand that the Bible is wrote in riddles and parables. Okay. So it's deeper meanings to this stuff, you know. So the animals that he was separating and stuff was us, the people. Okay. The same way he's doing it now. People say, oh, this is the government running this stuff. No, it's Yakub running it. Okay.
Yeah.
Everything that the government doing, they stole it from Yakub. They just studied up. That's why they got the Bible. You know, you got to climb. This is what masonry about, right? You got to climb up Jacob's ladder. Jacob's ladder is Yakub. You got to go all the way up to 33 degrees. Okay. All that's Yakub stuff, man. You know, when you hear nurses and doctors taking oaths and judges and stuff taking oaths, they're taking an oath to Yakub. Because his job was to make them think on the light versus the light people of the creator. Because he hated himself. So he took it out on the whole world because he hated himself. And look what's going on. People hate themselves. Y'all was just talking about the putting the glasses on and stuff. That was y'all cool thing. He told you to hate the Son. Because the Son come from God. That's why he wrestled with God to change his name to Israel. Because he did so much stuff all under the sun. He did a whole bunch of stuff. That's why he had to change his name to Israel. And now you hear people saying that they children of Israel. They children of Yaqub. They don't even know it. The Jews, right? Hey, this stuff is deep, guys. All right. I hope I showed y'all another perspective on how to see this stuff. That's how I see it. Yeah. This is Yakub world. We living inside his world. The artificial intelligence, that's all Yakub. Remember, artificial intelligence is taking things that's natural and turning it unnatural to keep people in babble and confusion. That's what his job was to do, to mix, tap, and dilute everything. And this is what people are doing daily. They eat fake stuff, but they call themselves real. If everybody is real, then who is fake? Always ask that question. If you call yourself real, then who fake out here? Because a lot of people that call themselves real be the fakest people in the world, right? Adversarial world. So study up on Yakub, guys. I'm telling you, when you get into that story and you really look deep into it, I could break it down a little bit more, but I'm working on some stuff right now. But I got books on the stuff that I wrote about this stuff. I'm just giving you a brief synopsis of it. But when you get deep into it, you'll see how he runs this whole world, and everybody took an oath to him that's a part of that system. The judges, the nurses, the doctors. His job was.
It does
Oh,
say
go
the
ahead. Yes, sir.
devil runs the world like he's in charge right now,
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
that guy I was
Yakub.
trying to think of is Bill Donahue, Hidden Meaning.
Oh yeah, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes,
dude.
yes. A lot of people said I sound like him and stuff when I
Bro,
talk about this stuff.
have you
Yeah.
ever seen his stuff?
No, I've never seen his stuff.
Man,
I've
you gotta
never
check
seen
it
it.
out, bro. It's like right on point
Okay.
with what you're saying, man. Right on, like you
Okay.
guys are like neck and neck, bro.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Put some of his videos in the chat and stuff. I'll definitely check
Yeah,
it out, man.
YouTube, bro. Just YouTube. Hidden Meanings is his
Hidden
YouTube channel.
Meanings.
It's all about
Okay.
this stuff, dude. Like it's all about how it's it's all just analogies of the brain and the mind and the spirit, like how everything works together.
Yeah. Yes. Yes,
All
indeed. Yes,
from
indeed.
the colors to the fruits to like everything
Yeah.
referenced in the Bible
It's connected.
is a reference to
Yes.
something, yeah, to some analogy of like the human, like it's all reference to the body or the mind or the spirit.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, people talk about the government. The government is you. Because the same people that's running the government is people that look just like you. Right? Okay. This is why I
Yeah,
say
man. Self-government.
we got
That's what.
self-government, right?
Ain't that
You
what this
supposed
whole like system's supposed to be based on, bro? Like their
it's
whole
supposed to be
philosophy.
based on yes, it's supposed to be based on that, but these people can't govern themselves. So you need somebody to manage you. They
Yeah, like
doing their job.
good old Teddy
Huh?
Roosevelt said, man. Remember that
Oh
speech he
yeah.
made? Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes. Yes, man. He said, what did he say? What's the quote he said? I
Jamestown
forgot.
Exposition. Yeah, he's like those who can't govern themselves will surely be governed. You'll
That's
either
right.
be governed from within or you'll be governed from without.
That's right. And that's what's going on. The same story. And when did he say that? What? How many years ago that was?
Oh
And where we
man,
at now?
early 1900s, allegedly.
Okay. All right. So we in so-called 2022. They say, and it's still the same story. It ain't changed. So when I hear people complaining about the government, no, you need to complain about yourself. It's something you're doing wrong. Something you're doing improper that you
And the
need to put
beauty
in
of
proper.
that, right? The beauty of that
Yeah.
is you can change you. You can't change
Yeah.
nothing outside of you.
You
That's
can't.
why you got to start from within, or you ain't getting nowhere, bro. You point your
Nowhere.
fingers out there, and that's not gonna help nothing, man. That's an illusion.
It's an illusion, and people
That's
still
just a
playing into that
projection of your
illusion.
own inner reality.
Ignorance, straight ignorance, straight ignorance. You know, that ignorance go all the way, probably even further than Adam and Eve, but Adam and Eve was some ignorant ass people. They was real ignorant. Just imagine two people in the garden didn't even know they was naked. And this the crazy part here, brother. Didn't a snake talk to them to get her to eat an apple? How
Right?
ignorant is that?
How do you listen to a snake, first of all?
Right. Yeah. How that happen? How did a snake get a human voice? Right?
Yeah, what the hell? It's like cartoons with it, man.
This ignorance.
It is an amazing story. Like, who came up with this?
Oh, my bad. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was saying like people was arguing about the birth certificate thing, of trying to control it and all that stuff. How can you control something you never created? This go back to what you were saying, brother. How can you teach things outside of yourself and correct those things and not correct within yourself already, what need to be corrected? Ain't the birth certificate outside of you? Ain't
Totally.
the social security number outside of you? So
It
how
all
can
is.
you? Okay. So was you born with it? No. You was birthed with it, but you wasn't born with it. Because when that first spark of life happened, brother, when you and the mama and the daddy was having sex in the bedroom, that was a private contract, huh? Right? And who knows your real age? Because that was the first spark of life when daddy pumped it inside of mama. Who knows when that happened?
Yeah, the conception. Yeah, that's the true
Right.
birth.
Right. That's the true birth there. Who knows when it happened? Okay. They don't even know. Right?
Only the creator knows that one.
That's it, man. And you hear people arguing about the birth certificate and the numbers on it and stuff. Who gives a fuck? Right? That ain't got
Yeah,
nothing to do with
you're
you.
putting the cart before the horse there.
Or you trying to force that horse to drink that water and he ain't gonna drink it. I don't do that stuff. You know, I, the numbers that they come up with, where did they get these numbers from?
Their
All hearsay.
asses.
These just questions we need to start asking ourselves before saying these things. Okay, we need to start asking the questions to ourselves before we start asking these questions to others. Okay, that's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
and don't be out there asking them in the public because they'll start bringing their security goons around and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's always agents around you. The Matrix told you that. Agent Smith is always around you, right? Yeah, but back to what I was saying though. The birth certificate, you can't. It's a death certificate. Okay. Now, I heard stories that it's um interest and all that stuff behind it and sweat equity and all that stuff. It's ways of doing those things I heard, but at the same time, the people I heard done those things, okay, they had to sign a non-disclosure agreement with the devil, with Yakub. Okay. So it's your choice if
Who's
you
the
want to
devil
go.
though?
The devil is Yakub. Anybody that take an oath to him, those people. Okay. So you go figure with that. All right. So if you do tap into that stuff, that's why you don't hear these people on these calls or out in the public speaking about this stuff frequently and publicly, with no holds barred to their mouth. Okay. You'll never hear that. And if they do, Big Brother listening to everything.
They
What they
disappear mysteriously.
Yeah, they disappear mysteriously. Yes, it's a ritual. It's a Masonic ritual. Oh, so yeah. All right, y'all got it. So um, me, I will say not to go that route. If you enjoy your freedom of not being monitored and watch every move that you do, everything you say, you can't even be around your own family when you do this stuff. That's the crazy part. You got to drop your family. You got to drop your family because if your family find out how to do that stuff and they go out there and start talking about it, y'all all going down for the count, right? Okay. You can't even tell your babies this stuff. That's crazy. So me, I love my freedom. I enjoy talking to people, I see y'all as brothers and sisters until one of y'all dishonor me. And then, we ain't no longer brothers and sisters like that. I see you in a different eye, you know what I'm saying? But I still respect you from a distance, okay? So I'm telling you this to save your life, and this is experience talking, okay? That's why you always hear people say, I heard someone else done it, but I haven't done it myself. Or somebody else is working on it, but I haven't done it myself, okay? I'm not doing it, period. Those things, I'm not doing it. Other things, I have done, okay? And I have experience with it and records to prove, okay? So, yeah, I'm gonna check that dog. I'm gonna check him out. Don, what's his, Bill Donald Huderman? Whatever his name, I can't even say his name. Yeah, I'm gonna check him out though. I'm gonna listen to him tonight and stuff. I like that type of stuff. I was raised in that conscious world, and the reason why I left that conscious world, and sometimes I go in and out of it when I speak to certain people about certain topics, but the thing is that a lot of people in that conscious world are still unconscious, so I had to leave that shit, just like
Yeah,
man,
right.
I'm telling you, brother. Hey, you do you know what I'm talking about, man? It's crazy.
Yeah, dude. They're like stuck in an illusion, man.
Illusion, man. And the first thing they say is that some alien came out the sky and made me do all this shit. What? Huh?
Right? Blame it on someone else, right?
Right. Instead of blaming themselves, they always screaming, know thyself, know thyself, know who you are,
Yeah.
know what you need to do. But the first time you get into some shit, you blaming everybody and their mama.
It's the
So
deep
that's why
state.
you said what?
It's the deep state, like all this fucking bullshit.
Man,
Yeah, they're
oh
just
man.
giving people what they're asking for, bro, the way I see it.
A lot
Government
of
is
them
just a
agents
reflection,
too.
you know?
Yeah, that's
I
all it
forget who
is.
said that,
That's
but
all it
yeah,
is.
some quote was that, yeah, government's just a reflection of the people, you know.
That's all it is. The people are the government. The same people, the government are the people. Just like when they be, because I don't know how long you've been inside this law community world, right? Most of the people of the law community that talk about the law either was a part of the government or they've been in jail. Okay, mostly they tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm
You're
lying.
right on point. You're right on point.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Ex-military,
Ex
Navy
sheriff,
SEAL.
every Navy SEAL, ex Mason, ex
Satanist.
what Satanist, occultist,
And
um
there's no X because, like, once you've been in it, you're in it. You know, for the most part.
well they say they ex now. They not a part of that life, but they're structure they whole movement and group just like it again. It's crazy. So
Yeah,
conscious that
you
they
make
are.
a blood oath to Satan, bro. You know, you ain't breaking that shit. You know?
Hell no, you ain't. That's kill or be killed. That's it. Kill or be killed. That's the oath to mostly all those societies of organizations and stuff, even with the gangs and stuff. That's the first thing is
I
death
wonder if
before.
that's what they do with the foot. You know, when they pinch the foot and do like there's some kind of fucking weird, satanic ritual or something with the baby, and they put it on the paper. Who knows,
Oh,
man?
you remember I told you this come from y'all. I can't wait till you study Yakub, brother. All that's Yakub stuff, brother. Yakub's job was to put pins and needles in people's minds.
All this vaccine shit is Yakub.
That's all Yakub, brother. The He was the first, the eugenics movement, Yakub. The Planned Parenthood, Yakub. The abortion thing, Yakub. All that's Yakub's creation, brother. You're gonna find out. Wait till you read about it. You're gonna
Yeah,
be
because
like,
I was
holy
into
shit.
that stuff before I got into law, like conspiracy, like Michael. You familiar with like Michael Tsarian?
That name sounds familiar too. That name sounds familiar.
Yeah,
Say,
he's pretty
say it
good,
again.
man.
What's the name?
Michael Tsarian, Tsarion.
No, not familiar.
Yeah, he's got some really heavy shit. Like you guys probably know who David Icke is, right?
Oh yeah, David Icke,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
the
like
reptilian
the
guy.
next
Yeah,
level to David Icke, probably. I'd say.
yeah,
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 David Icke is
yeah.
a
He was
comedian.
an agent too. He was an agent too. He's a part of the CIA and all that shit too. He's a part of that shit too. Uh,
Most
all of them, a
likely,
lot
yeah.
of them were.
I'd say they
Yeah,
all probably are, to a certain
yeah.
degree. You can't get
Even
that kind of
even
notoriety without being
yeah.
connected to some shit.
He had to be. That's too much knowledge. That's too much.
Not
Too
even the
much
knowledge,
information.
just the fact that he's promoted so much. Like, why would they be promoting? He would be
Yes,
dead if he really had something to offer. Like that was,
easy,
contradictory.
easy. They even Bill Cooper, the
Yeah.
behold the pale horse. He was a CIA agent.
Yeah, people put him on a pedestal because he got allegedly got murdered. So
Yeah, he got
I
murdered.
think
He actually got into a shootout with the police on the highway,
yeah.
and when he
That's
was
why he
running, he
thinks
had a
he's
peg
legit.
leg. Yeah, yeah. But a lot of stuff he said inside that book is still going on. Because
Hey,
if
yeah,
you
man.
a Silent Weapon, Acquired Wars, that book is off the chain, man.
Shit, yeah, dude. Originally, that was
But
written
why
by
though?
what's his name? One of them law guys. Forget his name.
Yeah, I believe he was an attorney. Yeah, I think I know who
The
you're
guy,
talking
the
about.
guy that wrote Silent Weapons for Quiet War.
Yeah,
Fuck
I
was
think he
his
was an
name?
attorney. Yeah, he's an attorney. Oh, that's crazy.
But Yoda, why would a CIA agent get in a shootout with the police? Aren't they
Because
under one umbrella?
he knew they was coming for him. And it
But
wasn't because he was telling the truth. It's because he was already under oath to not break that shit. He broke it.
oh,
So he had a gun. They know he had guns on him. He was a CIA agent. What CIA agent you know walking around here without a gun on him? They always got a gun on them. Some type
What do
of
you mean by
Glock.
a gun? You mean guns?
Yeah, guns like a Glock or something. I think he had a Glock or something on him, or a 45. He had something on him, and
No,
he
but
was shooting.
Glock
He was shooting at the.
Glock
Yeah,
weren't even invented.
he was shooting at the police. You know, he was shooting at them, the Arizona police.
What were they
He
coming
killed them.
for him for? For taxes or some shit?
No, he broke his oath. He broke his oath as a CIA agent. It wasn't because he was telling the truth. It was plenty of truth out at that time.
Right. Cooper
They,
started as naval intelligence.
yes, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the book
And he
is
got
called,
documents of that stuff too. Huh?
yeah, the book's called Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars.
Yeah. Yeah. But see, he got that he got that out of another book before that though. That's was wrote by an attorney. I believe they said it was an attorney that wrote that.
Well, what was the book though?
Silent Weapons of Quiet War. It's an actual book. It say
No, I
top
mean
secret on it.
the one that's written by an attorney.
That's the one. Silent Weapons of Quiet War. I believe he was an attorney. I'm not for
But
sure.
which book is the other one that was inspired by that?
Behold a pale horse.
Oh, okay.
And that was straight out the Bible, Revelation.
And another, if you want to read a really, really interesting book, read The Biggest Secret by David Icke, because he wrote that in the late 90s. When you read it now, and I read it like in the early 2000s,
Mhm.
so
Yeah, that's a
going
good
back
one.
and reading it now, it's like, oh my God, this guy was like way the fuck ahead of his time.
Yeah, he was predicting shit.
David
Yeah,
Icke was on something. I think he was
absolutely.
doing the mushrooms. I think he was doing mushrooms or psychedelics or
Yeah,
something. He was on some
yeah,
shit, man.
he went to Peru or whatever and did the peyote.
Oh, there we go.
Ayahuasca, yeah. The
Right.
Yeah, there you go. That makes sense. Yeah, when you get on that shit, man, they say you be in another realm of the
You get a
parts of the
download,
universe.
bro. Big time.
Yeah, download. Yeah, that's what they call it, downloading. Yeah, yeah. I like David Icke. It was just some crazy shit he was making up, though. You know, I know people still believe in that alien and spaceships and stuff. I heard people tell their stories. I can't never get through to them about those stories because that's what they sing. That's their experience.
Yeah, once
So
you
I
start
can't.
looking into like flat
Yeah.
Earth and stuff, I don't know. None of that shit makes any
Oh.
sense anymore.
Hey, I shut them down all the time. Just like that lady tried to. Even with the flat Earth thing, you know, and people believe the Earth is round and stuff. Oh, nobody knows. Nobody really proves.
Yo, you kind of got muffled, bro. Oh, but I remember the guy's name. Allegedly, the Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars was written by Hartford Van Dyke, but I don't know how true that is.
Say that again. What was it?
The Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars was
No, I
written
mean
by
the author.
Hartford Van Dyke.
Okay, thanks. And he's an attorney.
I'm not sure. I know he's a law guy, but I don't know if he's an attorney or not.
If I remember correctly about that document, that somebody purchased a Xerox copier at a government surplus sale, and that document was in the copier. And that's how it got released. It wasn't supposed to be released to the public.
Yeah, that's what Bill Cooper writes in the Silent Weapon, or in
Yeah.
They Hold the Pale Horse.
Pale Horse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got cut off. My bad. I'll get back, guys. So I was talking about what was that? Oh, the flat Earth and the round Earth, right? That's that's a crazy argument. Okay, for one, the first thing I asked both of them, the flat earther and the one that believe the Earth is round, the first question I asked them: have you been on a spaceship to determine that answer you saying? I asked them that question and it shut them down. That's the only way you're gonna know, right? If the Earth is flat around, right? If you've been on a spaceship, correct?
Or like a hot air balloon, you could go, way up there.
We gotta see if we gotta see the Earth itself. A hot air balloon is gonna take you so far up to the Earth. That's it. But going out, we talking about going outside the Earth and looking at it from an outer space
Right.
perspective.
Yeah, who has the means to do that? Unless you got your own aircraft,
And this is the crazy part, right? We always hear about celebrities going out of space and stuff. Why haven't they dealt with that argument yet? Why haven't they said anything about it yet? I'm still waiting on them.
Oh, you mean
Elon Musk.
or the other cat,
Jeff
Amazon
Bezos
guy.
and
Yeah.
what's the British guy's name?
For the Virgin Records.
What's his name? The long hair guy.
Yeah, that weirdo.
Yeah. Why they not in no debate with each other if the Earth is round or flat?
Richard Branson.
Oh, Richard Branson, right?
Yeah, Branson.
Yeah. Why they not in the argument, Floyd? That's what I want to know. We listening to people that ain't never been on a damn spaceship or even seen a spaceship in their life.
They're on that need to know level.
Well, there's three of them. There's Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Richard Branson. They all have access to space through their vehicles.
Man, I got my theories, my opinions about things, like, when it comes to planets and stuff, I have got into arguments with the conscious community about it and stuff. And to this day, they still try to argue with me about it and stuff. Well, I believe it's no other planets existing outside of Earth. That's my belief. Okay.
I'm down with that.
That's what I believe in. Okay. The reason why is because if these other planets exist and everybody hate where the fuck they at right now, why ain't nobody going to those planets or even thinking about going to those planets?
Well, I think it's happening in the next few decades.
Yeah, that's what they keep.
Well, they've been saying that. They said that. Yeah, right. Probably even longer than that, brother. Yeah.
Since they developed this so-called technology to get there, or they probably had it way back.
Yeah. All this technology. You got celebrities that's going through hell right now because they probably on child support, or even with Britney Spears, right? That shit that happened with Britney Spears. Instead of her going through that with her father and stuff, why did she just take a trip to Venus some damn way and live there? Right? When you think?
If it was possible. I think it's so.
Well, you got people that still these planets. You got people that, especially this is why I had to leave that conscious world, man. The astrologists and stuff that goes off the natal charts and all that shit. If these people, I just don't get it, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. Because they base the natal charts off of the planets and stuff. They'll say that, oh, your zodiac sign come from the planet of Venus. But we don't even know if that's our true birthday. How the fuck can they? Don't get me started, man. Okay.
Yeah, right. This whole orbit shit and all. Who knows, man? It all looks
Nobody
the same.
knows. Nobody knows. It's all make believe.
Why is the moon always facing the same way, dude? If it's fucking spinning.
And if it's not spinning, why when we go on the highway and we speeding, it look like it is spinning? Shit, right?
And if we're spinning, how the hell do we drive on a highway? Like, if the Earth's spinning 1,000 miles an hour, I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
None of it makes
Doesn't
sense.
gravity hold you intact on the ground?
That's what they say, but
That's what they
I've
say.
never heard a real solid explanation of what gravity actually is.
Do they got an equation for it?
We can feel it. We just can't determine its source. Like, is it a pushing
Yeah, but
force,
to
pulling
me,
force?
density explains it all. Like the denseness of the air is a medium, and things travel through it at a certain speed when you drop them. Like because it's same concept when you drop something in water, because it's a denser material.
Would have that happened without gravity? Like, if you go to space and have like a little pull inside the space shuttle and or a little tub and throw something, would it go down without gravity?
Well, I've never been to space, and I've only seen pictures of any of that shit, and
Yeah.
I
So
can
there's
neither
more to it
confirm
than
nor
just
deny.
density. I think there's a lot
I don't
that we
see.
don't
I
know.
don't see how there could be much more than it. I mean, keep it simple, right?
Well, nature is never simple. We wish it was, but unfortunately, it's not.
Guys, go look at some of the frequency videos just to see what you think about that, because they do a lot of that with just frequency. And there's everything that NASA has said has been a big fat whopper, like everything. So you got to forget some of that stuff.
I just want to know why gravity has an affinity towards water. Like, how does it hold trillions of gallons of water upside down on a spinning ball? Like how? But a bird or a leaf can fly through the air with no resistance to gravity. Like, how does that make any sense?
Now this gonna get y'all right here. Now you know I'm a deep thinker, right? So they got a museum for every motherfucking thing out here, right? Even dinosaurs, right? Why they don't have a museum for the people that's been out of space?
They do. I think NASA has a bunch of like down. I think it's in Disney World though.
Where's these people caskets at?
Oh, the
Talk to me.
astronaut?
Yeah, the astronauts. Yeah.
Probably in the ground. I don't know.
I'm just saying they got a museum for dinosaurs and shit, right?
Yeah,
They
well, why
find
do they
bones
just
of
show us the
dinosaurs, but
bones, bro? Think of how dumb that is, bro.
right,
You're just gonna show people
yeah,
a bunch of bones? Like, why wouldn't you just
yeah,
reconstruct
for
the
millions of years ago.
bones?
Yeah,
And then they
but
say they're all fake anyway. Like, oh, we can't put the real bones out because people might steal them. Well, wait a minute. So you're telling me you got fake bones out here that aren't even the real fucking like artifacts you found, and you reconstructed them, and we don't even really know what this creature looks like because it's just a bunch of bones. I don't know. The whole thing just doesn't jive with me.
but I'm saying though, where's this museum with all these people that's been out of space? Somebody show it to me.
They must have a space museum somewhere.
Okay, well you show it to me. I love it. I'll visit it. Just tell me where it's at. I'll go and visit it. I'll go and visit it wherever it's at.
Have you ever seen pictures of that lunar lander that they supposedly brought up to the moon?
What you say? What you say, brother? What is it called?
The lunar lander that they supposedly drove on the moon. It's like a golf cart, and it's got all like it looks like they taped duct tape and put like saran or aluminum foil on it and stuff to like block the so-called radiation. But dude, it looks like some kid made it in art class.
It's all this stuff is questionable now. Okay, we've been believing this shit all our life, but we never question this stuff. And the only way you're going to know the truth is when you start asking questions. That's it.
They hate when you ask questions, though.
We need to start questioning these people, man. All these people that's teaching us this stuff, we need to start asking questions. Or we just taking everything on face value. Yeah, shit might sound good. It's a lot of shit sound good. You know, sugar tastes good too. Salt tastes good too. But too
Yeah,
much
shit
of it.
tastes with the proper seasoning. You could probably make anything taste good.
Oh, you know, people love fast food, right? And when you eat too much fast food, what happens?
It's thick as
Yo,
shit.
yeah, shit. Sometimes you can't shit. You be constipated, right? So what I'm saying is we need to question these things and come to our own discernment of what's true and what's false. Okay. And what's true and what is the truth is two different things. Okay. For one, it's two different words. What may be true to you may not be true to me. Well, what may be the truth is something that we can argue with and say it's not the truth, but the truth says it is what it is, especially absolute truth. Okay. So, and a lot of these topics that we spoke about today, we came to the senses of what's the truth and what's been lies. Okay. And as far and we keep going, we can keep going for days, hours, nights. Okay. The thing is that um me, when I hear people speak about things, I analyze it, dissect it, take the best parts of it, get my own understanding from it, and ask them a question about it, what they said, so they can hear what they said. Sometimes people just be speaking and don't even know what they're talking about. They just be talking because they regurgitating something that they heard. And you know, yes, I did say something about the birth certificate thing, but the record proves all these people that's trying to tap into the birth certificate and these social security accounts and these estates and stuff, where they at? Why ain't nobody threw a class on that? Why ain't nobody going on YouTube talking about that? They talk about every motherfucking thing else. They talk about all the rest of this fast food ass processes out here. Why they won't talk about that fast food process of reclaiming the birth certificate? Because you even hear people say, man, as soon as I tap into my state, I'm gone. I'm not even dealing no more with no public platforms, no more. Okay, well, it should be people out here that teach them how to tap into this estate or this so-called trust account that's got millions and billions of dollars into it. That's where the pot of rainbow gold is at. That's what I want to know. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm here for the testimonies. I love testimonies. I love hearing people get success. But I want somebody to tap into it, so they can be a prime example for other people to try to tap into theirs. I'm tired of hearing people saying, "Oh, I heard somebody did it, and people working on it right now, and I'm waiting for them to get their stuff accomplished so I can do mine too."
I think it's what
What?
you said earlier, bro. That like whoever does get access, they just kind of go off the chart, and nobody ever hears from them again.
Never hear from them again, man. Never hear from them again. You know, and you got to understand this too, though, brother. It's people that's been inside this process and stuff with this law community for 10 or 20 years, 30 years. Real talk. Now think about that one. You got, you know, the David Straits, the Anna Von Ritz, the Chris Houses, all these people, you know, these people been in the game for a long time. Why haven't they tapped into their motherfucking estate? Okay.
Well, there's people that have tapped into their estates. Some of them have contacted me privately. They just call me, and I don't know how they get my number. And they tell me that they're tapped into it and kind of roundabout their process of how they did it. Won't tell me specifically. And they're real, upfront about the fact that they're there, but they can't say anything publicly, can't go on any type of social media or anything like that. They'll get that visit and get cut off.
Yeah,
So
the
that's
point is,
pretty
it's not you. So
much, yeah, no, it's not me. I'm not
yeah,
there
if
yet.
it's you, you're not going to be like chatting with us about it here
Um,
because
I
you might
wouldn't.
disappear mysteriously.
Yeah, well, I've already had the visits, the knocks on the doors, and the investigations. Yeah, I mean I've made that clear publicly. Matter of fact, it's up in the thread probably 20, 30 posts ago. Uh, but yeah, they will come shut you down. And from what I've been told, is that you do sign an NDA, and if you violate it in any way, they will, take your toys away from you, put you back out on the streets.
So let me get this straight. So they told you how, and you didn't sign an NDA. Can you say it? Since you
They
know,
didn't. No, they didn't say I did this, 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 this. I sent this here. And did this. They just kind of gave me a roundabout way that they did it. Um,
were you able to decipher any of the roundabouts?
no,
Not
nothing,
really.
nothing, nothing specific. And I say this a million times, especially in my videos. People send me so much material that I may have the pathway in all the files and stuff I've printed out, but there's just one of me, and I don't have time to peruse it and vet it and make sure it works. And I've got a cardboard box here full of the allegedly for the black card, white card process, the ecclesiastical deed poll process for your master file. Both of those are all archived. I don't know. I got probably 40 copies of each. Ready to be mailed out, and they've been sitting there since November, and I haven't sent them because as I progress and meet more people and gain more knowledge, do more research, there are other instruments that I need to add to that are basically going to the same entities. So I've been holding off doing that and trying to get through all this other stuff to send everything off. So when I send it off, I don't have to replicate everything. And one of the things I did learn firsthand, face to face, from an IRS agent here in Houston over off the Gulf Freeway, when I went in to do my status correction for my name change and submit it to the IRS, she told me, she goes, well, why are you submitting this? And I said, well, I need to correct the record because I haven't got my name changed. She goes, well, I see you have an SS5 in here and a copy of your name change decree. And I was like, yes, ma'am. She goes, well, you sent this to the Social Security Administration, right? I said, yes, ma'am. She goes, oh, well, then we already have it. And I really didn't quite catch it, what she was, alluding to without actually telling me. But later in my research, I would say about 5 months ago, um, I stumbled into the website called, I think, info.gov. And I just happened to do a search. And what it is every department and division and bureau in the federal government, anytime they change the law or a policy that applies to that specific bureau, department, or division, they post it in this big manual, this big volume. And I was like on page 76,000 something just searching, and I found that as early as 2013, they had data matching software. So, in my research, what I concluded was that because of my knowledge of the Cray computers back in the 1960s and the way technology is incorporated into the public and public's knowledge through research laboratories, R&D, universities, etc., that they've probably had quantum computing systems since the early 80s would be my guess, and that they've had the computer dating, computer or the data matching software probably right after that. So all these forms that we're using, especially with the OMB forms, Office Management and Budget, they're all standardized. So the computer already knows to read those squares. That's why they want to keep you in the square when you fill those out. So everything that you submit is getting scanned in. It's going straight to your master file. And it doesn't matter whether you file in Department of Commerce, Transportation, Social Security Administration, IRS, it's going to the same file. So what she told me verifies that it doesn't matter where you're sending it, all agencies, departments, bureaus are notified. However, one may not even know it exists, but it's already in their files because they have that central intranet that connects all of them to the quantum computing system. And I digress.
Yeah, they actually have been doing that for a long time with their central databases. I mean, I know you've heard the stories of with family court. Um, one family, the children grew up that was in the system. They got older, had children, and all of a sudden, their children are now being harassed by the state because they're in that database.
I personally have not heard that story.
Oh yeah, it's been going on for at least 10 years.
No,
But
now I
the
have heard.
blockchain,
Uh,
go ahead. The blockchain will actually give them the ability to have all the records under their control because the person that creates have you seen Unstoppable Domains? Have you
no.
seen that? You should go research Unstoppable Domains. They're there's some young guys creating Web3. And you go on there and you buy a blockchain domain name. And with that domain name, you can actually create websites. You can house NFTs. It's your wallet. You control it. Okay.
But I still need
So
their satellites, so technically I'm still under their control.
so this is the that what the bankers and the governments and the powers that be are trying to do is they want everything to go to the blockchain and they want it to be under their control. And right now, the wealthy elite are investing billions of dollars in this technology. And the unstoppable domains, the web, you know how WordPress is very dynamic. It's high definition. You can do videos. Right now, the technology for the blockchain domains for Web3 is back at HTML1, maybe 2, where you can't do real dynamic websites yet. But that's all goes into what you were talking about the databases, because it all goes into what's it called? A registry system. or a ledger so they know who owns what? How's your foot, Floyd?
It's better. I made it to the gym today, but it went all the way down to the outside of my shin. It's bruised. It hurts. It turned black and blue. I mean, like 60 seconds.
Damn. Wow.
Well, I went with a friend to get some granite, and they had the long 12-foot sheets, but they were like 3 foot by 12 foot, and there was a big piece sticking up in the middle of them, and he grabbed that piece and started pulling it. I was like, "Oh
Ooh.
shit, he's gonna pull this on my foot." So I tried to put my leg up against it to stop him, but I couldn't. He had more leverage than I had, and yeah, it all slid down my leg and all my foot.
Mm-hmm. Wow. What is he, a chiropractor or something, or a doctor?
No, he was struggling. I was going to help him out because I used to do commercial construction,
Oh, okay.
commercial construction company.
Okay.
Shoot, commercial construction. Oh, I'm very familiar with those kind of granite slabs.
Uh,
Used to do that myself.
mm.
There's a building in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, that we call it a big tampon. It's the Wachovia building. And the way they designed it, it looks like a big old giant white tampon. But they put granite slabs all on the outside of that building.
Oh.
You said it looks like a tampon. It looks like a penis. It doesn't look like a tampon.
Well, go look it up. White
What
tampon
building
building.
don't?
You see, you
Yeah,
can go
what building
Google.
don't?
You can go Google tampon building in Winston Salem, and it'll come up on Google Images because everybody has said that's what it looks like.
They got some perverted minds, huh?
No, it's not perverted. The
Huh?
way they designed it, it looks like a tampon. The top
Me
of
and
it
the
is
wife,
rounded and everything.
me and the wife joke about it. We always say it looks like a penis. It's weird.
Huh? It's all sex magic, right?
Oh, I know.
That sells though, Pastor, right? Sex sells.
Yep, it does. Unfortunately, the system has turned something sacred into a business.
Yeah. But you know that's been going on though, Pastor. It wasn't
Yeah, I
even
know
before, it
that.
was way here before the system because prostitution is the first job in the world, right?
Hey,
First
it
job
goes
in the
all the.
Bible.
When I say the system, I'm talking about it goes all the way back to Babylon. It's a Babylonian
Okay.
system.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, this new world order isn't new at all. It's
Oh
an
no, it's old.
old system that's been around for a long time. And now they're rebuilding Babylon in many ways.
Hey, Pastor,
Hmm.
do you have that 10-minute audio from that dev lady? Was telling about all her stuff with David Straight. The one that I shared with you at the beginning of all this.
Where'd you send it to me at?
I don't
Text message?
remember.
Okay.
I don't remember. I don't think so. But I just. Do you remember which one I'm talking about though?
Maybe I'd have to go look. It's
It
not in
was
our
about how
chat.
much. No, it was about how much it costed her to basically everything she tried on his, and basically she ran down a cost comparison on what it costed her to do each process and how much time was involved, and it didn't work. I don't know if you remember that or not.
No, I don't think I ever
Remember?
heard that audio.
Oh man, I can't. I think I got it out of national chat or something, but I can't find the darn thing. Because I asked you who the lady was. That she was from Minnesota or something, but she personally knew him, and she was the one that was telling him about the doing the stamps in the back of the book and all that. I just figured I would entertain that stupid guy on TikTok.
No, I mean, he just says he wants evidence. I mean, I can't fault him for that. I mean, you got
Yeah, I know.
people that believe in David Strait, and when you tell them you tell them, look, David Strait's stuff is crap. I mean, the man is smart. He's got a lot of knowledge, but his process is all wrong, and they get all
Well,
crazy, and they like, you got to show me evidence. I mean, they don't care
and
to
I
look
you
at it
didn't
any
listen
other
to the
way.
rest. He didn't care to listen to the rest of what I said in that damn TikTok. He went straight for that and ignored the fact that I wasn't here to try to prove otherwise, just my personal
Mm,
belief.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
mm.
that's what got me. That's what made me upset was just the fact that he want to make a video about me and
Well,
duet me, but he don't
unfortunately, when you
the rest
stitch
of
a
the.
video, they can't play the whole video. You can only stitch a few seconds.
No, I get it. I'm good with that. I'm just saying I mean, evidently, I just figure if I could find that damn 10-minute audio, I'd just go ahead and do it and tag a minute and be done with it. I just remember it being about 10 minutes long, and I just don't remember, but I thought that was like one of the first things I shared with you.
I'd have to go look. But he's one of David Strait's adherents, and a lot of those people that have sold out to that, they've invested too much. It's hard to tell them anything different.
Yeah, you got a lot of people, Pastor. You outnumbered, brother. You outnumbered.
We're always going to be outnumbered. Go back to the Bible. Broad is the path that leads to destruction. I mean, there's many that go down it. I mean, narrow is the path to salvation, and few that find it. I mean, you got those that have ears to hear and eyes to see, and that's it. You can't help everybody.
Yeah, David Straight. He got he just recruited 27,000 more people to his
I
him being a
firmly,
share.
yeah, I firmly
Huh?
believe that
Mhm.
that either he's an agent
Mm,
or the system, he's controlled opposition. In other words, they know what he's doing and they use their algorithms to promote Anna Von Reitz and David Strait to lead people astray.
mm. Yeah, because they teamed up with each other. You heard about that, right?
They did what?
They teamed up. They with each other now. The
Yeah, they
David
hate.
Straight group. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
they hate each other, so they're divided. You know what I'm saying? The Anna group attacks David, and the David group attacks Anna, and they're both in competition with each other.
But they both nationals, though, right?
Well, they both push the same narrative, but their
Hmm.
processes are different.
Mm,
Anna pushes a portion of the secured party process, but not in its entirety. She does push creating the trust, putting your stuff in trust, and then making her the fiduciary, and I will get you all your property and all that crap.
mm.
And then he does the opposite. He's the affidavit side. He goes and says, "Oh, do the affidavit." You know,
What you think
But
of the affidavit?
it's if you Google it, it's called an affidavit of repudiation. It's like 40 pages of claims with no evidence.
Mm. Wow.
And I knew somebody. I knew a lady in Minnesota that was fighting family court, and it was either Minnesota or Michigan. It might have been Michigan. She went to freaking jail over David's stuff. Lost her kids. She had to go get an attorney to undo everything David did. I mean, David stuff did, just so she could get her kids back. They raked
Wow.
her over the coals big time.
Wow.
So there's no way to go back and search your comments in Floyd's. I know it's in this. I know it's in this chat because I asked if I could use it. And is there a way
Yes,
to go back and?
if you go back to your list of chat, where you go to your list of groups you're in, at the top
Yeah.
there's a search bar. Tap
Okay.
and just type in search terms, and everywhere that term comes up in a chat, it will show you. So if you remember something of what you said, it will find it.
Mm.
I use that a lot because where I've shared so much stuff, somebody will ask me about it. I'll have to go find it, and then I'll just forward it over to them.
Golly, can I use this? Is all I remember me saying, and you wouldn't believe what it pulls up. Oh Lord, I appreciate you. There it is. Can I use this audio on 7.4?
Yeah, forward
Thank
it to
you
me
so much.
so that way I've got it.
Okay. I will. I will. Uh,
What about those cases out there in Indiana, Pastor?
Which ones?
That David Straight did. He got all those babies back.
I don't believe him.
Mm.
I don't believe him. Where's his at? Where's he? He made a lot of claims, but don't never show no evidence.
Yeah.
And people just take what he says as the gospel. Do you now Hamilton? You know Kirk Pendergrass. He runs Kirk's Law Corner.
Yeah, what happened to him? I haven't heard. He disappeared. What happened to him? Heard him.
Yeah, he disappeared. He disappeared sometime after I called him out.
Mm.
Because remember a few years back when I was on Facebook and
Mm-hmm.
he had put that letter up. This was before the election, and the letter had that thing of Trump task force on it. And he said,
Okay.
and him and David Straight started telling everybody that they were part of Trump's task force to stop child trafficking. Some people bought into it, some people didn't. I told him flat out, I called him on the phone. I said, Kirk, you're giving yourself a bad name. My mother in law got that same envelope, and it was a donation envelope, and it was a
Mm.
questionnaire. What policies do you support? If you are saying that you are part of some task force, put the letter on Facebook. And he never did. He got a donation letter, and then they played it to the hilt. And then he goes, and then David Straight goes and says the same things, and people buy it because people are gullible. I mean, for real. Donald Trump, you part of his team? Oh, really? Come on now. By the way, Floyd, I like that video on the delivery receipt.
You like that? Nice and clean.
I do. Let me share the template that I found on Westlaw, and it's similar to what you did.
I just used that one you sent me from the
Oh, I
California.
sent you that. I sent you that one. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, word for word.
yeah. And I also was looking at it, and I remembered if there's errors on the thing, you're to put it on that delivery receipt. So
Right.
guess what? That's the best spot to say, hey, the birth date's wrong. It needs to be corrected.
So change it from the actual mother
Birth
birth
date
date to the
to,
registrar date.
yes, because it's a registered organization. What day was that registered organization born? The day it was recorded.
Okay, I can read that.
Hey, what's up, Pastor? What's up, Floyd? Been listening. I was on the phone. How y'all doing?
Great.
Doing well, Eric. How you doing, man?
Not bad, man. I'm
Thanks
trying
for
to.
sharing. Thanks for sharing your channel. I looked through some of your stuff. I was like, okay, this is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. You mean what? You want my YouTube or my website?
Yeah,
Or
your YouTube.
all right. I've been at it for a while, man. I got some Noam Chomsky and stuff on there. I don't want to hear he's a communist. Man, if you've never read Manufacture of Consent, I mean, that's, Noam
Hey,
Chomsky put a lot of great work out there.
look, I look at it like this. Yeah, he's a communist, but hey, you got to know your enemy.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Hey, by the way, Floyd, I was looking at your channel, man. KMFDM, Kill Motherfucking Depeche Mode. I agree.
Depeche Mode had one song that I liked. That was about
Man,
it.
I got laid at Depeche Mode concerts when I was in high school with college girls. That's all I can remember.
I mean, gosh, yes, that was long ago.
All right, I sent it to you.
But you know what? The 70s and 80s music, some of it is still golden to this day. And the younger generation can never experience that because a lot of their music, it falls to the wayside. And they get new fads every time they're told to like something.
I wish they could feel it in a phone. I mean, like a landline and a rotary phone. I wish they could feel that struggle.
I got a freaking guy on TikTok. He's a comedian, but part of his channel, he does things with his daughter. She's 12. It is absolutely hilarious. She's sitting with her face in her phone, and she looks up and says, "Dad, what's O?" She's trying to pronounce AOL, and
Oh,
she said,
dial up.
"What?"
My kids would freak out. I'm telling you. And nobody can experience the power of hanging up on somebody. I mean, just slamming down that receiver. You don't get to do that anymore.
No. And if you didn't answer the call, there was no redial.
Hey,
But
who
it was
who's
luck of the draw who you actually got on the phone. You didn't know who it was when you answered. You just had to wait and see.
well? I remember growing up, and when I was in high school in the '80s and whatever, middle school, when you would call your buddies, your mates, mom would answer, grandma would answer. Now people got phones. Like, I mean, these kids today can't even like imagine not getting direct contact with the intended party now. You remember the old days when you'd call up, the local line and, oh, hey, Miss Beaver, is Johnny there? He's not here. We don't like you. Don't call this house again.
Oh, man.
843 more miles.
Ah, not bad. You only got to be what? You still what Monday, right? Yeah, Monday.
Monday at 2 o'clock, and I plan on being there Monday morning. I
Where you
actually
headed
plan
to?
on being there Sunday night, so I wake up fresh and be there Monday morning.
Dang. Man, you definitely, where you headed to? Must be West Coast.
Missoula, Montana.
Montana.
And then I get unloaded there, go 3 hours over to Spokane, Washington, pick up a load of onions, and then be in North Carolina Thursday.
Hmm.
Are you actually going to be able to stick around for a day or two?
I can't afford it right now. I got to freaking build up my bank account. When I come through town and I can't afford to stay, I at least say, honey, want to go to dinner, go to lunch, go somewhere.
Yeah? You drive? What are you talking? You drive around with your lady or something? Is that what you're saying? Or are you solo?
No, I'm solo. She's if I'm coming through and I got time, I call her up and say, hey, you want to go eat? Sit down together, see my wife and kid.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I wish I could get back on the. Well, part of me does. I don't like being under DOT. It's like shit. I'm trying to be private, and you're driving a freaking
But
company driver truck DOT.
but see, I
No,
don't have a problem with operating in commerce. That's the thing.
no, I get
I,
it. I get
I,
it.
a lot of people a lot of people have the mentality I should never do business with government. I don't agree with that. The system was built a certain way, and I actually kind of see the benefits of certain things.
Such as?
Well, I mean, I'm operating in commerce. How else can you get a check? Doing what I do, I make between 3,000 and over 4,000 a week. That's what I clear after all my expenses.
Is it the miles per the dollars per mile or something?
Yeah,
Well,
this
no,
load right here.
he's an owner operator.
Yeah, th-
He's
I
yeah.
mean, this load is not a great paying load, but it adds up. I mean, it's about 262 a mile.
Next time you'll think before you. Hey,
Wow, they got it
uh,
down to the penny. I thought it's estimated.
Do what? No, it's not estimated. I negotiate my own rates. When I call these brokers, if they don't if they don't give me at least close to what I want, and they don't put a fuel surcharge on it, I won't touch it. I don't haul cheap freight. It's not as high as I'd like, but I'm not going to haul things close to $2 or less a mile. Not when fuel's costing almost $1 a mile.
I'm just thinking about our conversation. Uh, got to at least get $3 a mile.
Hey, I shoot for at least a minimum $3 a mile. It's $1 a mile for fuel, $1 a mile for the truck, and $1 a mile for me.
The Holy Trinity, huh?
I got to make a living.
I was just gonna say the Holy Trinity. You know, you can hate the Masons, but that three is a magic number.
Hmm. Well, it's just like
Mine-
in business back in the old days. What was the normal rule of thumb? You mark up 3 times your cost. That means what? 1/3 covers the stuff on the shelf. 1/3 covers the business. 1/3 is your profit to go home with.
But today, the way they do it is 1% for your business, 1% for the shelf, and 98 for yourself.
No, they don't actually do it that way. If you study inflationary cost, I did a video a while back. I've got the video somewhere, but if it was some of y'all are old enough to remember BJ and the Bear. He would haul anything for $1.50 a mile. And back then fuel was
You're selling your
in the high 60s, 70 cents a mile. I mean 70 cents a gallon. It's somewhere in that range. And I did a video on it, when I found that, when my friend shared that clip, and I went and did an inflation calculation just for the trucking industry to keep up with inflation. If you base that rate on what it would cost today, it'd be $10 to $12 a mile, and there ain't nobody out there getting that.
No.
So they're
That's
all doing
why.
right.
Well, that's why it is so hard to make it based on the amount of trucks. If you got one, you got to stay on the road. You got to build up your bank account, because when you park that truck, you're losing approximately $1,000+ a day. And then you're home spending money because you're having to fix things, do things around the house, and you're not making anything.
So what do you think of these people that get these extended super cabs, and these maybe the woman don't drive, but she cooks? Is that a good lifestyle if you're
Yeah.
if you're a minimalist?
Yeah. A lot of those people, husband and wife, they might run team, they might not. You got some couples that will run team for, say, 5 years. They don't have a house. If they want
Right.
time off, they go get a motel. And
Yep.
after 5 years of running team, they go pay cash on a house.
Well, here's another strategy, and this is what my strategy was when my daughter man, I got a good buddy. He lives in Thailand. He comes back. He's an American. He comes back here. He runs what's he does summer? Yeah, he does the summer over here, 6 months, and he goes back to Thailand, lives modestly for $1,000 a month, pretty much. So I mean, shit. I mean, he does company driving, but he goes 6 months, comes back here, for the summer because he don't want to do any of that, American winter anywhere, and then he goes back to Thailand for half the year. But again, he's living on $1,000 a month in Thailand.
Yeah. Well, look, if you go back in the if you go right around the 30s and 40s and look at house prices, and you
Yep.
compare the rate of inflation on house prices to what they are today, the houses are overpriced.
How about a pickup truck? I mean, shit. When I was born in the '70s, the boomers, you could buy and build a house on a half acre for 30 grand. You could get a freaking brand new F-150, whatever, for about $8 grand.
Yeah, now they cost 50, 60,000. You can't, and inflation doesn't match the numbers of what's being put in a lot of the products.
Mm-mm.
No, is that because there's so many people?
No, it has nothing to do with the people. It has to do with the businesses, the big corporations. They just, in a roundabout way, I personally believe this. They set the prices at whatever they want. They don't care about inflation. They want to know what money they're going to make over the next year. That's all they care about, the bottom dollar. And then if they mark up the houses more than inflation, it eventually knocks the average person out of being able to buy a house. And then you go to the World Economic Forum, and they said, what? You ain't going to own anything, and you're going to be happy.
Well, I think the problem with even the big corporations like Detroit Motors and whatever, and Ford or whatever, what happened over the decades is this communitarian agenda came in, and they had to start hiring more and more attorneys to write these bigger contracts. And then you got Obamacare thrown in there. We got to buy this and that. It's like, listen, you can hate the corporations, and I do as well. But you
I
go
don't
up
hate
on
corporations. It's nothing personal. It's just business.
Mhm. No, but what I'm saying is,
People take things personal, but it's not personal. It's business.
exactly. But it's the attorneys that came in there. That's where the costs are getting in. It's this health, this health tyranny. well, we got to pay this. We got to pay. I mean, look at the whole look at the Hobby Lobby, fight. Yeah, no, we're a mom and pop. We're a Christian business. I'm not, I'm not into that, but that's their belief. But we don't want to pay into this medical insurance so that people can get all these, abortions and Planned Parenthood and all that. So, like, if you're a businessman and you're doing it in a public IPO, you're screwed by the government. I mean, we're all screwed, even the corporations.
Actually, no, not necessarily. Do you know the one thing you don't understand about that case with Hobby Lobby? You know why Hobby Lobby could defend their rights on that First Amendment? It
I
goes
didn't
back to
follow
what
it.
it goes back to what we talk about. Their business is owned by a trust. The trust has the ability to protect the interest of the shareholders. The shareholders have religious beliefs. So
Mm-hmm.
they had a duty to their shareholders
Mm-hmm.
to protect their interest. That's why the Hobby Lobby case is so powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, Smoking Baby in a video I've got, he's talking about a book. It's a scientific book that's talking about all the ways the government can identify you. And he done a copyright on all of those ways to identify him. Now, can you do that yourself and hold it? No. What you can do is you do that copyright and place the copyright into the trust. Now, the trust has the right to protect the interest of the beneficiaries. That's what the Hobby Lobby case was about.
Mm.
See, there are certain things you can't do in this system as a man or woman. But when you set up and structure everything the way you're supposed to do it, the way they do it, you start getting certain protections. Why do you think the elite don't really pay hardly anything in taxes?
Why do you think
They set their structure up to where they eliminate their tax liability.
Mm.
And they use trusts to do it. Do you know if you have a trust and the profits at the end of the year of that trust, if it is declared part of the corpus of the trust to reinvest into more property for the trust to make money, there's no taxes. But if you do a distribution to the beneficiaries, it's a 15% tax. So what do the elite do? They don't do distributions. They buy assets. And then what happens? They don't have to pay taxes.
Well,
They let their customers that are renting their homes, renting their businesses, they let those people pay the taxes.
that's right.
Look at Grant Cardone. What does he do? I was paid attention for about 6 months. I was listening to Grant Cardone, and I did go purchase his real estate investment class. Cost me $1,000, and I got his book of forms and everything to set up your own real estate investment trust. But I got to looking at that, and it was brilliant what they do. He has his main corporation that's the parent company. That company sets up a trust for every single house purchased. Each one is in its own trust, an investment trust. He gets investors to invest money to that way he uses that money for the down payment. Okay. And then the bank loans the rest. And then he turns around and rents it out for a little bit over the mortgage. So that way the renters are paying for the repairs along the way. And when it gets close to the end of the 30 years, in the meantime, the investors got like 25% of the profits over the life of that mortgage. Okay. But when the mortgage is almost up, they make a decision to either sell the house or refinance the equity on the house. Then they take the equity, modernize the house, and what they don't spend out of that goes in their pocket tax free, and the renters pay the note. That's how they build in wealth.
All the power and none of the liability.
Yep. Own nothing, yet control everything. They get to play with it because they run everything.
They can't. Well, they can't own anything because they don't. Esoterically speaking, they don't have creativity. They don't have. They're incapable of sweat equity, entrepreneurship. That's where we're at. These people.
No, it's not that at all.
Okay, go ahead.
Go back to the Bible. Who owns it all? God. He placed man here to have dominion, not ownership.
No. Listen, I'm not saying.
Dominion means rule.
I agree.
Right?
No. What I'm saying is, I own my creative works. Listen, I have a house here. I don't have a mortgage. I don't own this house, and I think that's one thing we need to talk about is actually private property. Hey, my biology, that's my property. That's for sure. My thoughts, my energies, those are mine. But this house, I actually kind of agree with the great. You'll own nothing because the idea of property, I think we really need, as a species, we need to readdress it because I agree with what you're saying with the Bible. Like, I don't consider I own this. I don't own this land. I don't own the dirt. I don't own the grass. But I do own my body.
But here's what you don't realize
You
about
don't
the
even
word.
own your body.
That's right.
Now, here's what you don't realize about property. The definition of property is not the house. It's not your phone. It's not your car. Because the system understands you don't own the tangible item. Its rights and interest in the tangible item is your property.
Well, that's what I was saying. Sweat equity, or I think stewardship. I've been talking forever. I say stewardship. Stewardship and property. I'm more interested in the concept of stewardship. So I guess we're agreeing in different ways.
Yeah. Now, I disagree with Tim Hart's. God, it says, forms you from the dust of the earth or the clay. If you study the word earth through the Bible, if memory serves me correct, I need to go back and check. It also can mean clay. Okay? So God says for you to have dominion over the earth. And what was this government structure set up as? Self-rule. You are to have dominion over your body. You own it. But the problem is, what are you going to do with it? And Jesus was right. What do you do with your body? You use it to serve others. You become a servant of the Lord to serve others. And the minute you become a servant, now you have a master and you've relinquished ownership, but through that you become free.
I was just making a point that you you have exclusive use of it, but you don't own it per se because you didn't create it.
Well, yeah, you could argue that point. What you create, you control, and God created it.
Yeah, that's basically what I was going with.
Well,
You're right with that.
well, here we go. Now we're back to the quote unquote I. And this is, and I'm not trying to get in an argument, but when I write stuff, I do use the small lowercase I to represent the immaterial. So I mean, I haven't heard. That's what I do. When I call me crazy, but if you the mathematical symbol of electric magnetic is the small I italic.
Well, I've
So
also heard it said, and if you go back to the Hebrew language, there was no capital letters. Okay, so I've heard it said in the common law system, you don't use capital letters. You write everything in lowercase because why? It was based on certain esoteric principles throughout history. Capitalization of letters is only a fairly recent thing in history.
yeah,
We
well,
didn't
and
develop it, but it's a recent thing.
well, it's only going to apply to any language that's Latin based when it's written out because Sanskrit,
Japanese, diminutia,
right?
yeah.
Chinese characters don't have there's no such thing because there's some. So capitalization can only apply to Latin based written forms of a language.
Yes. So
And
I have heard it's now. Hey, Floyd, are you still there?
I am.
You want me to tell you something? This relates to what we're talking about. I've told the story about the first federal court brief I wrote. And it got dismissed after like 13 months, but it was dismissed without prejudice. And what did I do? And this is when I was still kind of new at this stuff. You remember Carl Lentz?
mm-hmm.
I copied his method and learned something very valuable. I have never seen a court move so fast. I mailed that paper out on a Thursday, certified mail. It was sitting at the courthouse on Saturday. They picked it up on a Monday. Their response to that document was at my house that Friday. I said, holy crap, they didn't move that fast when I did my brief. So I do believe there is definitely something to how you write your documents will get you a certain response. I do believe that.
So,
I mean, go look at the ticket I did recently. Now, did I do the normal writing, proper English? Yeah, but they freaking express mailed that order to the house. It was at the house the day I was supposed to be in court over the weekend. So that's two instances I've never seen people move so fast.
the judge was bringing it up to me. He was reading stuff because I write pretty weird. I write, I say I as author. I throw a lot of Latin. I put Chinese characters in mine because I can because I'm going for the international thing. I don't know about that national stuff, state national. This whole thing about clarifying your status. Clarifying your status, yeah, as I'm all present and accounted for from fertilization to last breath. So that whole American national, state national, the republic, I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me per se.
it doesn't with me anymore either, because they are making presumptions no different than the government. They sit out there and say, well, you're a U.S. citizen because of blah, blah, blah. Well, I did a FOIA request to the USCIS, and they come back and said there's no records of you being a U.S. citizen. Well, guess what? Why do I need to change my status from U.S. citizen if I never was one?
And then what are you supposed to change it to? That's my, you know what I'm saying? Like to what? A New Yorker? A North?
Your birthright is the state you were born in. The system does believe in birthrights.
The state I was born in is
Well, let me correct that. Yes, if you happen to still live in the state you were born in. But a citizen of the several states has the has the fundamental right to change their status to another state just by moving.
Yeah, it actually, I put this into my court of record, which they had. It's a fundamental change in circumstances. There's international treaties. There's a Vienna Treaty. Yeah, look up fundamental change in circumstances.
Well, I had somebody tell me, I was smoking baby one time. He said, ultimately, because of the Trading with the Enemy Act, what are you trying to do? Make peace with the United States. So he said, study peace treaties and then write a peace treaty. A peace treaty is a form of a contract.
That's right. I've done it, and I think that's why I threw the judge through the loop, because I threw him the freaking change in circumstances. I threw the exactly what you're talking about. That I'm making peace and I'm making treaties. TREATIES.
Floyd, I don't know if I will be able to get this guy to contact you. I got a call today. The guy was in the middle of a court case, as in he had criminal charges. Okay. He went and did a DBA over the name, and the minute it was recorded, the court went and got an unnamed court-appointed attorney to act as him and start writing the papers. He would just sign his initials, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they said in their documents, they would serve it on him at the old address. So they built the narrative of improper service. And they even went so far as saying the state was at fault, in default. And I'm like, and all he did a DBA, but he didn't use their form. He did it differently, and it totally got rid of the case.
New name, Minnesota, DBA, whatever. I mean, or did he do it through his just local county, state, or DBA?
They wrote their DBA themselves. They wrote it themselves. He wrote it himself and sent it to the state of Kentucky.
So he's a Kentuckian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because remember, what have we been talking about? You don't own the name. You don't have permission to use the name. So
right.
the DBA gives you permission to use the name.
Oh, God, this is such a... Okay. So you got Kirk Callenbach, who I do a lot of work with, and I see people have introduced the tertium quid there like I did. And then you got Kate of Gaia is big on the... I presume a lot of people know Kate of Gaia and his or her work. Now she claims, she stands on the idea that it's quote unquote illegal to use the legal name. Okay, I wouldn't see, this is my... Okay, we're not the name. Okay, I never consented to even be named Eric, or even, you could have named me freaking like Prince, turned himself into a symbol. if I didn't consent to it, how the hell how can you have any name in the first place if you were never even consulted about it in the first place?
That goes back to what I said yesterday. You have the right to declare who you are. Are you awake, dear? I just got your text, sweetheart. My
He's
wife's
talking.
listening in.
Hey, wife.
See, earlier she took her nerd rope and she said, "I'm too relaxed to have a conversation." She said, "I'm about to fall asleep." So I've been waiting for her to wake up so I could call her. So she's awake now. And now she's turned around and said, "Good night, sweetie. I love you." She likes her nerd ropes every so often. But no, the name, you have the right to declare who you are, but the people are not declaring who they are,
I did. I invented.
getting the separation in place.
I've already done it in their system. I literally invented my name from what you search the internet, Facebook.
Look,
There's some names.
Eon, I told you yesterday, Eon's done it, Popeye's done it.
You keep saying Eon and Popeye.
John Smith.
Who are they? Are they in the group or do they have a YouTube? What do they got? YouTube
Go to
channel?
YouTube. Go to YouTube. Type in EEON. Popeye. No, he don't. He has a YouTube. I'd have to share it with you.
Hey, I know a Popeye down in Ocala, Florida. It can't be the same Popeye.
No, it's not. He's in California.
Okay.
But I only know him by Popeye. I've asked him the birth name once, and his answer was, "Well, I've been known to use this," and I've never asked him again because I understood what he was saying. Somebody asked me why I don't do video. Well, part of the reason on TikTok is when I tried to do video, I would get banned, dangerous activity, right? And I got fed up with that. But also in the process, public and private don't mix. TikTok's a public platform. Do you want your face all over a public platform?
Okay, hold on.
Ain't that supposed to be private? I mean, it's up to you. Each individual has their own choice to make, right?
So Eon is this guy that's got this quarters.
His videos are annoying as hell. He plays music, goes on rants, and he does it on purpose.
He's a
If you're
strange
not
dude.
serious,
Does this sound like endorse your junk the right way? Are true?
yes,
Okay,
yes,
I got
that's it. He does the videos annoying like that on purpose because why? His philosophy is this: if you're not serious, you're not going to hang around through the annoying stuff to learn anything. But talking to him on the phone, me and him do talk. Talking to him on the phone, totally different guy.
Cool. Well,
real smart.
He sounds like me. He sounds like me because you know what? I don't know where I'm saying it subjectively. I don't know where you got the idea that you have to walk through life with a persona being one dimensional, a dentist, a freaking lawyer, whatever. So yeah, I get exactly what he's doing. He's not being static and one dimensional like the vast majority of the zombies out there. Bravo.
Yeah. And Popeye, he's doing a lot of things with credit card companies. He wants to speak to the person that has the first-hand knowledge to the debt. When they ask him, well, yeah, they claim it, and he calls them on the phone and records it, and they can never answer it. And he turns around. They said, well, we have the account. He said, that's hearsay. Where's the person that put that information in there that has the first-hand knowledge? And they just hang up on him.
That's great. That's a good one. I never thought of it that way. That's a good.
Usually by the end, he'll just ask him, "Would you be so kind to put the account on cease and desist?"
Yeah. Oh, so you've heard Popeye's stuff.
Yeah, I need
know
to get a link to
Popeye.
that. I need to get a link to that because I guarantee if I just search Popeye on YouTube, it ain't.
You're not gonna find No, you're not gonna find it.
Yeah, we're all Skype buddies. Popeye,
Yeah,
like
Popeye.
Batman. You know Batman.
Batman, yep. Batman, yep. I know Batman.
Well, I know Batman.
I just actually had lunch with freaking Minnesota Mark, Crazy Mark up in Minnesota.
Oh yeah, Mark.
Yeah, Mark.
Well,
is
hey.
a
Hang
great
around much
guy.
anymore. Yeah, he's cool. Yeah.
Add me on Skype. Here's mine.
Yeah, so
I am
I'll be
Batman
back, y'all.
57.
I'm gonna call my wife because if she's going to bed, I'm gonna at least tell her good night.
Oh, that's
I
so
will
sweet.
be back.
What a sweetie.
Hey, I love my wife. She may not
I
always
never,
think I do, but I love my wife. She's my best friend.
Yeah, you
I
should.
wish I
I
loved
never.
her.
Happy wife is a happy life, my friend.
That's what they say.
That's what they say. That's right.
It's all hearsay.
Right?
But I've been led to believe it's true. Who the fuck am I?
They believe that it's not true all the time.
I'll be back in a little while, y'all.
All right.
Man, I miss driving a truck in a way.
Why?
Why? Because I spent most of my life living in big cities, working in architecture and marketing, and I just was I was driving a truck from 2019 through COVID, and I don't know. I mean,
it's like that old grass is always greener thing, right?
Well, what else are you supposed to do? I mean, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go work with people, and even if it's at Lowe's or McDonald's or whatever, or an architectural firm or whatever. I just don't want to deal with an office, and I don't want to deal with coworkers.
It's weird interfacing with the public, like after you start to get into this stuff, because it's a whole nother world. You know?
I was okay with interfacing with the public up until COVID, but now COVID, God bless it. I call it Corona period because I kept my Corona, but most people ran away from the Corona and bought into COVID. It was I knew exactly what they were doing. They were calling it the coronavirus, and then they switched to COVID. So they got the vast majority of people on the planet.
Hey. All right. You're welcome. Yeah. Don't get caught up in that Corona stuff, man. You know, just drink one. You'll be okay.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
I never got.
They threw out that the whole Corona thing because, like, remember the Lysol used to say kills corona, like 99.9% coronavirus.
No. I said 99% of germs. By the way, it's so amazing because I've been calling this out way before COVID. Corona. Hey, you know what? Lysol saying we kill 99.9% of germs. You know what that means? We kill life because life comes from germs. Germinate. You know the bees? Yeah.
Crazy, huh?
So,
and all these people rubbing their hands with alcohol all the time, they don't realize what they're doing to themselves.
hey, it sounds like you're pretty close to me. You down there in Jersey or somewhere?
What do they do to themselves then?
How'd you figure?
I don't know. Don't know.
Is it the accent or
Something like that. I don't know.
I hope so.
Whereabouts?
Central. Like, are you familiar with Princeton?
Yeah. All right. Cool.
How about
Just across from the island. At least you're not South Jersey. I like. What's that?
Are you in New York?
Yeah. I'm up in Central New York. I'm between Albany and Syracuse right now.
Cool.
Yeah, but I lived down in the city for 13. I was born out in Bay Ridge and lived in the city.
You don't have a strong New York accent. I mean, just like
no, when I get drunk or angry, it comes out. But no, I've lived I've lived in China Shanghai 11 years. I've been spread out.
You've kind of been like incorporated into different cultures and stuff. So I guess
Exactly.
that kind of, yeah, interesting. Like accents are so fascinating to me.
They are. Yeah, when I get a bit excited, if I'm at a party, some people, I do the Italian thing. I do the the three fingers together and all that. But I never liked that whole. I got family in Staten Island. They're like, "Oh, she's such a hooah." I'm like, "You mean a whore? What the hell's a freaking hooah?"
Like Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh, they're that. Listen, I don't put any accent, but I think some people make an intent to have an accent just because they have some obsession to identify with with the so-called roots where they're from. And come on, just can you speak a little bit more universal there or something? A little bit, I don't know. Like this, I watch this sometimes video. I don't know if anybody's heard of Bro Sanchez. He's got a pretty good topics and stuff, but he does the kind of little, let's say, black thing a bit too much. And sometimes I wonder, is it just?
You're a flat earther. You're a flat earther, huh? That's what you are.
I ain't no flat earther.
Is he the flat earth guy?
I know that you're a flat earther. Let me find out.
Yeah, he talks about. He's expanded a bit. He talks about hidden history and mud floods, and man, we all know our history's nonsense, man.
Oh, I love the mud flood stuff, dude. The Tartarians and whatnot. Wow.
Well, you can't tell me they built this shit. Like you live in New York. You go up to the Upper West Side, up around the Hudson River, and you look at those limestone buildings and the brownstones. How the hell? And look at the shit we build now. Look at the shit we build now.
Bro. And like just Grand Central Station. Oh my God, man! Look at that building. I mean, didn't they redesign it though? Like recently?
But it's solid. It's and look at.
But you look at pictures of that, like back in the 20s and stuff. Fucking that thing was, it's just amazing, man. Like they was designed around something else. Like I'm totally on board with the whole airship thing. Like they had giant airships. Yeah. Parked aside.
Well, did you see that they were advertising Skype in Germany in 1932 or so? Like when I say Skype, I mean whatever, FaceTime, video conferencing.
Right.
And you know what? When I was living in China, I can tell you exactly what the psychology of what this is. That because when I was living in China. And they were developing really quickly, from 2000, I saw Shanghai get built in front of my eyes, these buildings. So what there's, the Chinese people were saying, and this is the propaganda that was being fed by the TV and the school and all that. Yeah, today's a great day. And tomorrow's going to be better because we got all this technology and stuff coming. So you see, this is it's always a future reward. So they just reset. None of this technology's new. I hate to tell you.
Nah,
and the technology we have right now is shit. It's shit.
It's all mass produced, just like cogs in the wheel.
No, listen, I never became a flat earther. I don't believe in the what they teach us, this Big Bang and all this spinning around and all that. But I got thrown out of flat Earth groups because I was like, I'm more hung up on living in the moment, knowing thyself. And I would just say, like, what the hell? I don't care how deep the earth is, how old it is, on what calendar, the lunar calendar, the Chinese calendar, the Talmudic calendar, how old is the earth? It's a dumb question. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that we're getting lied to, but it doesn't matter what shape the earth is or whatever. I mean, that's how I looked at it. What matters to me is what we're living in with this fiction world.
What matters to me is why the lie and why such a big lie. Like,
Well, I would say the ball and the Big Bang, it makes it makes you, what flat earthers would say is that it makes you feel insignificant, right? and then it also gets you away from, you know, creation and all that. So that's yeah. I mean, you're spinning around through the universe, and you came from it's a stupid story. The heliocentric model is just it's chaotic. It's there's no.
And it still doesn't make any sense, no matter how they try to spin it, because like something had to come from something. You know, I mean, molecules don't just appear out of thin air.
Exactly, and that's when people would, and that's the other thing I say when people say this is a simulation reality. I said, listen, okay, that could be true, but look up the definition of a simulation. There still has to be an original
Yeah,
object.
that gives even more credence that there's a creator, because somebody had to build the simulation. I mean, it didn't just create itself.
Exactly, and there has to be an original. Like, okay, so like think about it like a facsimile or a simulation. There has to be an original object in the first place. So we could be in a simulation, okay, but that still implies that there's an original. I mean, to simulate, you're simulating something else. That's original.
Exactly. It's like that argument about the documents about the elders of Zion, or whatever that so-called literature that came out, and they were saying, oh, it's a counterfeit. Well, a counterfeit has to come from another source. So if it's a counterfeit, then there had to be an original document. I don't know. It's kind of off topic, but you know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah, that's exactly why I pretty much stand that there's this is why I don't like to use common law. I don't like to use anything. It's like there's natural law. You want to call it the golden path, the golden ratio, the mean, the whatever. That's all there really is. So I don't. I've been looking into this, you know. Oh, change your status and national and common. The problem with common law, if you look at things biologically, I've got my 46 chromosomes, half is, you know, the 23 from mom, 23 from dad.
Hey.
I've got my 46. So my 46 are unique, and this is scientifically. So how can I be part of anything common if I'm I mean, you and I have nothing in common when it comes to biology. Yeah. The only thing we have common is that we're in the same vicinity, perhaps, breathing the same air. But man, I'm sorry, man. My 46 is nothing like yours.
Yeah, but the common law that's a law form, okay? So it's three law forms of the Constitution. You got to pick which law form you're going to use when you having commercial situation. So that's why people choose which law form they want to go with. Like I choose equity. Equity is
equity all day, every
yeah,
day.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But
that story of the woman getting stoned in the Bible. I mean, if they chose common law, she would have been dead.
Yes. It's brutal. Common law is brutal.
Well, the common law is that's the public trust. That's the public I call it the cesspool, the public pool. Yeah, that's creepy shit, man.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that just want to do. Listen, I'm not saying that you shouldn't use common law when and where it's appropriate, but I generally try to steer clear of it, and I'm living with a natural, biological sense. If I have to use the common law, okay, yeah, but I'm trying to steer clear from any of that crap, the republic or the democracy or whatever the hell you want to call it. That's not none of my business. My business is my 46 chromosomes. If that makes sense. I don't know.
If it makes sense to you, that's what it is.
I got my
It's
mind.
how those 46 chromosomes gonna play inside this commercial world. That's what it is. Can the 46 chromosomes hold up to all these legal situations one get themselves in? That's the
You know,
key.
I just had an epiphany. Trump was the 45th, and now we got Biden time at 46. So the biological, if we're looking at the United States, that's pretty interesting. Hey, you know, I predicted Trump was going to be the last president of the United States as we knew it. You can ask my mother. And now we got Biden here, who's the 46th. And the 46 is the number of the vessel of 46 chromosomes make up a vessel. And get what I'm saying? Looks
But
like
does it matter? Does it matter who be in office? Does it really matter?
No, I'm not talking. When I think Biden, it's just it's an icon. I'm not getting into anything about.
It is interesting though that he's 47, like the new man, the fucking automaton or whatever the fuck he is.
No, he's 46. He's 46.
Oh, is he? Oh shit.
Yes.
So he's like the end all of creation. That guy. Fuck.
Well, 46 is 46 when you're speaking in terms of biology. 46 constitutes one vessel body, right?
That's a damn shame.
I mean, this is how I look at it. You, the material, are a mom came along with her 43. 30, what is it? 30. Yeah. 23 and 23. Yeah, and then 23 and me. the DNA thing, yeah. So mom gave you 23 at the building site. Dad dropped off 23. You got 46. That's you. Shit. Now I just realized that that DNA thing, 23 and me.
Yeah, that 23andMe shit is bullshit too.
Of course,
You better quit having a fit there, Eric.
Having what?
Real talk.
It's all starting to make sense, man. Biden's the 46th president of the U.S. That's the full 1 to 40. "23 and Me." My stupid father did that.
Yeah. People be trying to argue with that stuff. That is so retarded.
Well, they actually sent him back that apparently I'm part Jewish. And last time I checked, there's no DNA or genetic material that makes you freaking Muslim or Buddhist. But you know, we live in a world where some people claim that there's one religion on earth that has some genetic markers for some weird reason. I still can't figure that one out, but whatever.
Could it be that we all inside the army?
We're all in the army?
Yeah, we all in the army. What's the army slogan?
Shit, yeah. Army of one.
Yeah, to be all you can be in the army, right?
Yep. I think if they change it to an army of one. Which is pretty much, which I actually kind of like, an army of one and a government of one. I mean, you look up what the term federal means. It's a covenant between man and God. Well, if I'm connected to Source, God, whatever you want to call it, Yahweh, Yahshua, whatever, Buddha. Well, Am I not the government? By that definition? Am I not federal?
You can be all you want to be, man. That's all I'm saying. You're in the army. Okay? If you believe that you're the federal government, that's what you are. You are what you think. But yeah, so I stick with equity, brother. So equity is the language of the creator, which deals with mathematics. See, everything lie on this earth. Everything lie, but mathematics don't. Okay, that's the language of the creator of the universe. It was wrote in mathematics. Everything is mathematics. Everything you could think of is mathematics. Even when we speaking on this platform is mathematics. So if we look at everything from a mathematics standpoint, we no longer have to fall into no more technology out here of politics.
Say,
Because,
wait. Say we no longer have to fall into what?
Technology. It's called technology.
Uh-huh.
So it's people you think have knowledge, but they tricking you into putting you under a spell with that knowledge. Like prime example, like you spoke, like Brother Sanchez, a lot of stuff that he say might sounds good. It might sound good to your ear, but it's a lot of technology in it. So I see it like this.
Somebody on TikTok just made a video about this.
Oh, go ahead. What you say? What you say?
People got
No,
itchy
no,
ears.
yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt, but what you saying, I just watched a video on TikTok about this, man.
Word. So
Technology. Yeah,
trick,
no, keep going, man.
yeah, technology. Okay.
Yeah, explain
So
it because I have to
okay.
claim
So
ignorance on that one.
yeah. So I know you
I do.
heard the saying that your mind playing tricks on you, right? You heard that saying, right?
Yeah.
So when
Impressing
we
them,
listen to certain
might as well
things,
admit it.
oh, go ahead. What you say? Go ahead.
No, just to go on what you're saying, if you can't impress them with intelligence, dazzle them with bullshit. That
Yes.
was what I think about when I heard somebody explain technology.
Yes. It's basically what's glitter is not always gold. You know. So
Fool's gold.
so check. Yeah. Who's gold? Right.
Fool's gold. Yo, but
Yeah.
remember
Who's gold?
that song, My Mind is Playing Tricks? That was a good tune.
Yeah. That was Ghetto Boy.
I love that
And if
song.
you look at
Ghetto Boys were
and
the
if you
shit,
look
dude.
at that video, yeah, if you look at that video, look how they was going around in circles. I'm telling you. It's technology. So we can't let our mind play tricks on us when we hear certain things and stuff. That's why I say question everything. Don't never take nothing on face value. Nothing. Huh?
And listen, I'm an idiot.
We all idiots to certain things. We ignorant to some certain things, you know.
Black hole.
Just like when people pass away, right? Don't nobody know it all. A lot of them people died from ignorance. And a lot
See,
of us don't die
that's
from
the thing.
ignorance.
My mother has been telling me for freaking long time, Eric, you're a Leo, and I know we get whatever you're blah, blah, blah. You got a big mouth. Blah, blah, blah. But you're always trying to hammer people over the head. Oh my God, no! Listen, I'm an idiot. But problem with me is I just ask. I know how to frame questions properly that get people disturbed because my question upsets their belief system, and then they say, "Oh, you're belligerent." No, I just asked you a question, mother.
Join the club.
But that's
Oh, you know, I that. That's why I say, like in that conscious community, those people so conscious that they unconscious. You ask them a simple question, they blow up. How is that happening? You're supposed to be knowing all this stuff.
I tell you exactly
stuff like it's real.
Because you're getting listen. The only reason to get when you're talking with another man, male or female, when you're talking with another man, and that other man asks you a simple question and you get angry at it, well, that's a personal problem. There's no damn reason to be. That's a maxim of law. No man has the right to be offended. Now you're gonna get offended and angry because I asked you a question about what the shit you're talking about? That's your problem. That ain't mine. And don't try to flip the script on me and call me you're arguing semantics. I asked you a damn question.
Yeah. That's manipulation, brother. It's called manipulation.
I know exactly what it is. I asked you a question and you're getting angry.
Bro. That's why I can't
It's all
interact with the
manipulation.
public, bro, because that's all I get.